And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ow!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tolitz Rosel.
Yeah!
AKA DJ Tulisan. Ayan o.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the Pinoy Rock USA podcast shirt.
And I'm rocking the intro voice shirt.
Diba? What's up, Tolitz?
I'm doing well. How are you, Pax?
I'm good. Welcome to season 2. At least masosolo kita ngayon. Napanood mo ba lately yung New Day in August na podcast nyo?
It's hard not to watch it. I'm there.
Hindi yun ang nakakatawa. Sabi, pinapanood ko yun. Sabi ko, my God, ngayon ko lang napansin, ang bumabangka, Rex at saka si Richie. Tapos kayong dalawa ni Don.
Nasa likod.
At
Yes.
least ngayon, solong-solo kita ngayon.
Yes.
So, congratulations on the podcast.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it and what you do for the community, especially mga Pinoy rock dito sa Amerika na fini-feature mo. Nakakatuwa. Can you tell us more?
Well, Pinoy Rock USA, actually, I planned it since 2010. And the reason I planned it is because I'm part of the indie scene. Like New Day in August, with Grand Fool's Derby, with Beyond Baywalk. Tatlo banda ko in 2010.
Yes. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yung tatlong bandang yan.
Okay. Well, and then I noticed that, it's not that these indie bands like ours have a chip on our shoulders, because we noticed that those that get promoted are the ones who are from the Philippines.
Right.
So kapag galing ka sa Pilipinas at sikat ka sa Pilipinas, malamang sa hindi sikat ka rin dito sa Amerika. And nangyayari, yung mga banda dito sa Amerika they get...
dito lang muna kayo sa tabi.
Kumbaga parang hindi kayo sikat sa Pilipinas, so front muna kayo. O kaya ganun. So I said, there needs to be a way for them to get promoted.
Correct.
There needs to be a way for their music to be heard, kasi ang dami magagaling na banda dito.
Sobra.
Dami, talagang...
Kayo na lang, New Day in August na lang, for instance. Like, I'm a fan, di ba?
Yes,
okay.
Of course, yeah. So, naisip ko, there has to be a way to promote them. And during that time, I initially planned to feature them on featured bands on Facebook.
2010 to, ha?
2010,
wow.
Yeah. But during that time, I wanted to do a radio station. But during 2010, there was no delivery mechanism. There was no reliable delivery mechanism. I think the only radio that I heard was Benji Colantes.
Okay.
He was doing his new wave
Yeah.
station. I think it was like once or twice a week. And then I saw how complicated it was. So in 2010, I only did like 2 articles, and then I stopped the site. Kasi,
so may site na talaga, 2010
there was a
pa
site
lang.
already in 2010. May Facebook page na. It was already planned.
Okay.
But again, pagdating do sa radio station, because I can't feature music if I can't play the music.
Right.
So there needs to be a delivery mechanism. There's no delivery mechanism in 2010.
So frustrating.
Frustrating talaga. So I had to stop it and just continue plying my trade in the indie scene, di ba? And then I forgot all about it. And then happenstance, ikaw malaking parte nun eh. Kasi when you guested New Day in August, I said, okay, this. And then I watched your podcast. I said, okay, this is good. There's a way now to play the music. And then there's internet radio. Internet radio has matured.
I know.
There is a way now to play the music. You just upload the music and you just let it broadcast.
Isa sa mga ganyan, si Wolf Hemora, di ba?
Yes, exactly. I was seeing it at Wolf's Den Radio. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, now there's a delivery mechanism now.
Yes.
But I didn't have the time. That was before Paco's Place. I already saw that there was a delivery mechanism, but I didn't have the time. Then 2020 came. Then COVID came. Then the pandemic came. Right?
So,
there's time now. Unfortunately, yung mga masasamang mga pangyayari, nagkaroon ng magandang resulta. Kasi, and the one that triggered it is our guesting.
Dito, sa Pacos Place.
Okay, so I said, okay, maybe now is the time. Because if I had time to come here and record a podcast and play
4 songs, 2-hour podcast, a day.
We finish past midnight.
Past midnight, yeah.
A couple of pizzas and a couple of shots of whiskey later.
Yes.
We got to finish it, right? So I said, okay, let's trigger it. Let's try it first.
Ang galing.
And you could just remember my first podcast was from an iPhone. You remember that? And I was like, okay, so let's just use the iPhone, try to get some recording in.
At least, di ba, top board lang. Masabi mo lang na, you know what, I've done episode 1, my pilots in the can, done.
Yes, and then I said, just edit it. Just edit it in Audacity. And then nung pinlay ko nga napakalakas kasi walang timpla. So I said, okay, so now I see that I could do this.
Right.
So let's try to see where we can go. So that was initially what I wanted. And then I had this plan for Pinoy Rock USA wherein, okay, I do this podcast once a week, and then I broadcast radio, and then I feature bands. So that's the time. That was the 2 weeks after we guested. I was on a whirlwind of activity. I was contacting bands left and right.
Galing.
I was sending them private messages, and I was emailing them, asking them, okay, we have Pinoy Rock USA. We want to feature local bands. So all I want from you is your history, who your band members are, and if you have any demos, I want it.
Ano reaction nila?
Well, that's the thing. It's a mix. Kasi yung mga nakakilala sa akin, yun yung mga hindi nag-reply.
But parang gano'n, di ba?
It's weird kasi it's a curse of familiarity.
Exactly. Si Casey Hickman, I was just talking to him, Casey Hickman from Brown Dition, di ba? I was talking to him 2 days ago. So, shout out to you, Casey. Ang racket niya ngayon is, he knocks on doors and he is selling security services for ACS security services, yung patrol at saka yung system. Sabi ko, yung dalawang kabanda mo may bahay.
Okay.
Nabentahan mo na ba? Sabi niya, Pax, alam mo naman, ang pinakamahirap bentahan.
Yung mga kakilala
yung mga kakilala mo.
Tama yun.
And isn't that sad
Yes,
when you think about it?
Yeah,
diba?
everyone encounters that, especially those who go into MLM. Diba? Yun yung pinakamahirap nilang bentahan. Any kind of business, pinakamahirap mong bentahan yung nakakilala sa'yo. Kasi they don't know you as a businessman. They don't know you as a salesperson. Kilala ka as pinsan, as kapatid, as kaibigan. Diba?
Correct.
So that credibility is not there yet. So one of the first bands that replied back was Marvin Rivera of Calle 143.
Shout out. He's been on the podcast already.
Yes.
Okay.
And malaki ang utang na loob ko sa kanya kasi he's a great aggregator.
Very good aggregator.
Yeah, so ang ano sa kanya, the fact is, actually no, now that I remember it, he was proactive. I didn't contact him personally. He was the one who reached out to me because I put out the first podcast and I was asking for bands to contact me. And that's what he did. He was one of the first bands not from Los Angeles that contacted me. I said, merong kanta yung may banda ako.
Yung Calle 143, yeah.
May bago kaming original kung pwedeng mga feature. So I asked them information and I think they were like the second band that I featured. And the first band doesn't count because that's a placeholder. That was New Day in August. That was a placeholder kasi talagang gusto ko lang ipakita kung ano magiging itsura ng article. That's why I put them first. So technically, Calle 143 was the first band. Now,
bago natin ituloy, no? Can you confirm this? Because yung mga fans ng Intro Boys, ang tanong nila sa akin is, Sir Pax, season 2 na. Wala pa bang Intro Boys?
Okay.
The same way with you. Di ba? Beyond Beowulf, Grand Fools Derby, New Day in August. Sa totoo lang, hirap mag-promote ng sarili mong banda, di ba?
And you know why? Because you have to put your name on it.
Thank you.
Ayaw mong
Yun
lumabas.
siguro, Jay, no?
Ayaw mong lumabas na nagbubuhat ka ng sarili mong bangko.
Yun.
You can't say that, they have this kick-ass keyboardist named Tolitz Rosel. Fuck that. So,
who happens to be my alter ego.
Exactly, yeah. So, who happens to be DJ Tulisan of this amazing podcast. Oh my God. Napakabadoy, di ba? Kaya, I put them last. Kaya nga, tinatanong ako ni Mike. I think Mike asked me, why don't you feature New Day in August? Let's hold that up. Let's hold that for the last. Pag wala na akong ma-feature, they're placeholders.
Yun na nga, si Vic Carpio ng Intro Boy. Si JJ na feature ko na, si Jonathan na feature ko na. Si Vic, Pax. Kasama ka. May episode ka. Promise may episode ka.
Oo nga, mahirap nga. Mahirap nga talaga kasi...
Diba? Akala na madali na the last thing we want is to be accused na ginagamit lang nila yun para...
Exactly. Kaya nga, the first songs that I played, well, you notice that my intro is always my original song, which is Kaibigan.
Yes.
And I always finish with that also. Pero, I always play it without the voice. I always play the backing track. Even dun sa mga pag nag-i-spill ako, like I have 2 songs na puro background music lang. Right. So, kasi ayokong i-call to attention dun sa kanta. I want it to be strictly as a background. Which is the same thing pag nag-feature ako ng mga band. Kasi I think I've featured New Day in August. I've featured Grand Fools Derby. And I haven't technically featured my own band, Beowulf, because yun ang ayoko makikita nila, mukha ko dun, unang-una kagad dun sa picture, yung mukha ko kagad. Sinabi ko, grabe naman tong visit na to. Ginagamit lang yung Pinoy Rock USA para promote ang banda niya. Yun ang nasting.
Although, the reality is, I would like to hear Beyond Beowulf, di ba? So, ikaw lang nakakaramdam ng the same way. I'm pretty sure yung mga tao gusto nila marinig ang intro voice. Kami lang ni JJ nakakaramdam na medyo wag na muna. Parang gano'n.
Yun ang mahirap kapag musician yung nagpa-podcast eh.
Yeah.
Kasi talagang you discount you take for granted your own band.
Unless narcissist ka.
Yeah, exactly. Ganun.
Kasi may mga kilala ako musicians na nag-YouTube at saka nag-i-interview rin. And siguro after 10 minutes pinapatay ko na dahil mas narinig ko sila ang nagsasalita about themselves.
Sa bagay, oo nga.
As opposed to sa guest na fini-feature nila na parang, really? Note to future podcasters, if you're hosting, dapat yung guest yung nagsasalita.
Yun nga, tama. Ganun nga.
So, how do you find giving back? And when I say this, I'm saying this because I don't know what the goal was when you were starting in music, but I saw your TBT.
The last one, the guitar behind, in front of the bamboo tree.
The naked guitar.
Picture. Yeah, okay.
So, you were young. So, I don't know what the dream was nung gano'n kakabata. I don't know what the dream is. And I want to find out today what the dream is. But in spite of where you are, status-wise as a musician, you're giving back tenfolds right now.
Yes.
And yun saludo ko. Much respect to you because
Thank you.
Instead of getting it for yourself, you're giving back. Kinikilabutan ako ngayon, no? And you giving back actually elevates you. I don't know if you're aware of that. But
I don't know. I don't really care.
Yun na nga eh. But what was the heart? Kasi 2010, nakita mo na, okay, lagi tayo nasa sa isang tabi. You know what? I'm gonna take the baton. I'm gonna make it my mission to feature everybody. Now that you're doing it, what's the satisfaction like?
Well, the satisfaction is when I started it, I'm coming from experience kasi it's there's an intimate connection if someone from the indie scene is the one doing the podcast because you have the same experiences. I know how they felt. I know how the bands feel. I know how they started out. I know what they're feeling right now.
Right.
When you spend several hours, several days, several weeks on a piece of music and you try to play it and one or two people listen to it.
Or wala.
Or
people want to listen to it pero nakakak-block yan o natutroll yan na
Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah, so kasi there's no delivery mechanism.
Yes.
Especially dati. Dati, you can only hear the music if someone, pag malakas ang apog nila na ilagay sa YouTube, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung ibang mga banda kasi, they're so, this is another failing for indie bands. Sometimes they're so pure that they don't wanna sell out, quote unquote, in order to promote their music. Well, it's always, marketing is part of selling out. And most bands don't do it kasi, pare, ayokong i-promote, ayokong magbuhat ng sarili kong bangko, ayokong i-promote ang music ko kasi nakakahiya eh. Parang sabihin nila, yabang naman ito, pinipicture music niya. Parang ganun, parang ganun ang dating pag indie. Ngayon, alam ko yun kasi I played in I think a total of 7 indie bands since 2008.
Ganun ang attitude?
Well, that's the feeling I have.
Okay.
And I'm sure that it's something that's shared by other people kasi I don't claim to represent their feelings pero ano rin ako hindi naman ako special.
Right.
I'm just a regular indie musician. So I said, okay, if I was in their shoes, what would I want with my music? Anong gusto ko mangyari sa music?
Ano yung sagot?
Which is just to have someone else apart from you, your bands, yung mga kakilala mo, apart from people that you know, may maka-notice na music mo at i-spread yun.
Pero you don't find that selling out?
No, it's not selling out. Well,
Kasi I agree with you on that one Because kami, I wouldn't say we were an indie band. We were an underground band. Intro Voice was an underground band. As in hardcore new wave talagang kung may chong kaming hindi ni chonky, chong.
Pwede rin.
Oh, yun, pwede rin. So yun talaga kami. And then nung nag-pop kami, people said nag-sell out ang Intro Voice. And then I had to dig deep. Sabi ko kina Ira, paano tayo magse-sell out kung ang goal natin nung underground tayo was to be above ground?
Yes, exactly.
That was the goal. And we were just fulfilling the natural process, di ba? So kaya nga tanong ko is...
Well, I guess selling out only depends because selling out can be measured differently. Pero
sige, ano yung sa'yo?
The point is, why do you do it? Why do you want to do it? Do you want to sell or do you want to expose yourself? Do you want to improve your music? Do you want to show everyone your music? Or do you just want to earn money? That's why there are different levels of selling out. Now, selling out can be a good thing, which means that you are sacrificing whatever insecurities, whatever things that you're feeling in order to take one for the team, take one for the band, just expose the music.
So yun ang alam kong definition ng selling out. Yung tipong, you're making me do something I don't want to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But if I want to play K-pop, I am not selling out.
No,
diba?
Because that's what you want to
do.
That's what you want to do.
So may mga banda pala na ayaw nilang na mga purists na ayaw, okay.
Yeah, kasi may mga banda talagang ganun. Because I think I was one of those when I first starting out. Kasi you still have that illusion tulad ng mga 80s na if your music is good enough, somehow someone you don't know is gonna hear it. Diba? Parang sinabi, someone, if you post it on back then, Multiply or Friendster or MySpace, someone is gonna accidentally come to your page and hear it. Oh my God, this is the next great rock band. Let's promote this. Doesn't happen, right? So you have to do your part.
Yeah.
You have to expose your music.
Yes.
You can't just expect people to just accidentally stop by on your music.
So that's what started, ito yung catalyst ng Pinoy Rock
USA.
USA.
Because I want to be that person they don't know, the person who accidentally stops by and exposes.
Isn't it sad na there is only a few of us?
Yeah, it is. Again, well, I don't know about other cultures, pero naalata ko lang sa Pilipino yun.
Other cultures very supportive. I wrote an article back I used to write for the Asian Journal. I wrote an article back in 2002, 2003 wherein and in-interview ko pa si Glenn Jacinto and I had this conversation kasi halos sabay kami nag-migrate. So, nagpunta ako ng Glendale and lagi ko nakikita si Arman. And sabi ko, who is this guy? Oh, he's an Armenian celebrity. Lagi siya nasa Alex Theater, may tugtog siya palagi doon. Sabi ko, so he flies in from out of the country. Local.
Oh.
Local siya. Tapos pag nagpunta sa tabi ng Zanku in Glendale, may isang shop doon before, it was a record store.
Okay.
Dati meron tayong record store, di ba? Tatak Pinoy.
Tatak Pilipino. Tatak Pilipino.
Ano mabibili mo doon mga CD?
CDs, mga doon ko na kumpleto yung Wolfgang ko.
So puro mga CD from the Philippines.
Yes, exactly.
Yung mga record stores ng ibang lahi dito sa Amerika, ang mga binibenta nilang CD, mga artists nila sa Amerika.
Yes, ganun.
And unfortunately, I tried that with Introvoice back in 2005. Binenta ko sabi ko sa Tatak Pilipino kung pwede lang i-consign. Ano mo sagot nila? Ay, kung hindi galing Pilipinas yan.
Yun nga, that's my point. I don't know if it's the culture or if it's just the territory.
Right?
Pero, yun nga, sinabi ko, pag sikat sa Pilipinas, gusto ng mga Pinoy. Pag sikat sa Pilipinas, gusto rin ng mga Pinoy na nasa Amerika.
Right.
Diba? So I think, I remember your conversation with Joseph Bayan, which is tackling the same topic, exactly the same topic. Why do some Filipinos try to stay away from local talent and they just go out of their way to pay $75, $85,
right?
$100
Thank you
to buy tickets from people who are visiting from the Philippines.
Diba?
When there are like a
God.
shitload of indie bands.
Good artists. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes they're even better than some in the Philippines.
Amen. I agree.
So that's why, where's the disconnect? Why is it like that? Yun nga, hanggang ngayon, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm just resigned to the fact na it may be the culture. It may be the,
naho-homesick daw sila?
Maybe, well, no, because they have to, I don't know, napakinggan man nila sa TFC ang Kamikaze? Napakinggan man nila sa TFC?
Hindi, yung mga nag-migrate, yung mga...
Well,
diba?
That's the thing. Kasi karamihan na nakikita ko sa mga gigs mga mid-20s to 30s.
Na word of mouth na yun.
Word of mouth na nga eh. Kaya nga, why is the word of mouth relegated to just Filipino talent in the Philippines?
How about this? Yung mga fans ng Intro Voice. And I love you guys, ha? Pero nakakatanggap ako ng messages na kailan ka namin mapapanood sa ASAP? Ang point ko, may podcast po ako.
Tama.
May yung sariling channel ang intro voice.
Exactly, yeah.
Hindi mo na kailangan mag-channel surf para
I think, yeah. I mean, it may be, as
culture,
you say, maybe homesick.
Homesickness.
Maybe homesickness because they feel more comfortable if it's something local. When I say local in the Philippines, they watch. That's why sikat pala ng probinsyano.
Oo nga, no?
Kaya that's why sikat pa rin yung mga shows na ine-air sa GMA or sa TFC, di ba? Because they are homesick. Filipinos are nostalgic. They always remember what they grew up with, what their parents grew up with. That's why they have. It's hard for someone who's new from the outside to break into that mindset. Kaya ang nangyayari doon sa iba, kailangan bumalik sila sa Pilipinas para sumikat.
Yes.
Para lang sumikat pabalik dito.
Chris Lawrence, si JR, at saka si Chris Lawrence.
Exactly, yeah.
Mga Valley Boys yan.
Exactly, yeah. So they have to like win in contests over there and then get featured in musicals in order for them to come back here and become famous.
Alam mo, Tolitz, buti na banggit mo yon, no? Kasi I was talking to si Ferds ng Monumental by Far.
Yes.
So, sabi ko, Ferds, pag ikaw, and if you're watching Ferds, pag ikaw nakita ko pang nagpa-front act sa ibang banda.
Yeah, that's true. They're not front act material. They're like,
diba?
They're overqualified to be fronting. I mean, they're one of the favorite bands that I ever featured. And I like,
ang gaganda ng mga kanta.
And one thing I could brag about is most of the bands that I feature, if your songs are available on Amazon, I buy it. I don't ask you for MP3s.
Witness kami
unless they're not available on Amazon, I don't ask you for your music. I buy it. Every band
Sabi mo, binili mo rin yung album namin.
Of course, yeah, binili ko yung album niyo. Actually, I wanted to feature Hearts.
Healing Hearts.
Healing Hearts. I wanted to feature Healing Hearts, but there's no available thing. And I said, okay, let me just buy this track. So I bought the track from your site. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to be featuring a radio. I need intro voice songs. So I bought all your fucking albums, man. I bought all of them from Amazon. And the ones that are not available on Amazon, I ripped them from Spotify. Talaga, I wanted all intro voice songs. I wanted all River Maya songs. I wanted all... Well, I already had all the Wolfgang songs. And I have to admit, because Pinoy Rock USA is technically a one-man show, pretty much.
For now,
yeah. Pero I have a lot of help. Don Morales, or Mondorales in my Spotify. Don Morales is my music pimp.
Okay.
Kasi if I ask him, okay, Don, alam mo ba itong gatong kanta? Oo, alam ko yan, may album ako nan. Nice. Pwede rip mo. So, bibigay niya sa akin. So, yung mga hindi
ko kaya pala nagdadala ng pagkain sa akin. Kaya, okay. Well, alam ko na yung barter ninyo.
So, that's one thing. Kapag hindi ko makita sa Amazon, hindi ko makita sa Spotify, I go with other avenues. I want the songs.
Right.
I want to feature the songs, and hindi ako I don't go the ghetto way of trying to just mooch the MP3s, Although Ferds, Monumental by Far, I don't even need to ask. He sends me those songs.
Pinadala niya sa akin bago siya umuwi ng Pilipinas.
Very siya. He wants, and it's a good thing because he wants to spread the music, and it's music that's worth spreading.
The guy's very smart. Very smart yung taong yun.
Yeah, and I was just surprised. He's like a total he's a true music writer. Yeah. Talagang sobrang daming kanta nasa ulo niya. Minsan kailangang pasaka na parang maganda. And I like his songs because again if you don't know, just try to listen to Monumental by Far. It's new wave / alternative.
Yes.
But it's new wave it doesn't sound Filipino, but it doesn't sound foreign either. It's a new sound.
Para fusion.
In between.
A different kind of fusion.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, a few words from our sponsors will be back with DJ Tulisan, aka Tolitz Rosel, aka Beyond Beowulf. And we're back with DJ Tulisan, aka Tolitz Rosel. Ang dami mong also known as?
Isa lang ang piliin mo. Okay na ako.
Sige. So, okay. Wag tayo umalis muna sa Pinoy Rock USA dahil tontuwa ako dyan sa baby project mo na yan eh. I think it's the perfect compliment to what I'm doing also eh. Alam mo yun?
Yes, of course.
Yung tipong, guys, off-cam, pinag-uusapan nga namin, magpapasapasahan kami ng mga content because if there are more of us creatives, magbe-benefit yung mga artists.
Yes. I was hoping actually that there were going to be more people who are going to be. I was actually wondering why there weren't any more.
Yun nga lang, may trade-off. So, okay. Si Perf De Castro is a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So he's a very good friend of mine. And a lot of people have requested, if you're watching Perf, a lot of people have requested for him
to be a guest.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've called him so many times. Si Michael Abad, na nagbubuk ng mga guests ng Pacos Place, I've tried reaching out to him. And busy si Perf. I know he runs his own YouTube channel.
Yes.
And
it's actually a very good YouTube channel.
Pandemic ngayon. So, ayaw niyan lumabas. Pero my God, Perf. Point ko, okay lang naman mag-interview ng ibang mga artists.
Yes.
Pero kailangan mo rin umupo at kailangan mo rin ma-interview.
You know what? The most lively conversations can take place between two podcasters.
Hello, right now.
It's because it's like you're watching an all-star game.
Uh-huh.
Diba? Because you see, especially because magkakaroon ng melding yung two audiences.
Yeah.
And they'll be exposed to the other one, and then the other one will be exposed to this one.
Nagko-cross eh.
Yes, magko-cross, magma-merge sila, and then it's all the better. And then you get more lively, well, not more lively, but more spontaneous conversation because these are two people who are used to speaking.
Yep.
Used to introducing people, used to asking the right questions.
That's true.
Right?
So sabi ko, ayan, yung mga fans ni Perf De Castro, maybe season 3.
Yes.
Kasi ayan, si David Aguirre busy naman
God, that's one of the people that I want.
Oh my God.
I want to
busy ngayon eh. Sabi ko nga nag-aaral.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tsaka malayo bahay ni David. But David committed, si Perf hopefully season 3 now that you guys know.
Hopefully.
But you should get both of them sa Pinoy Rock USA.
You first. well, because I have to make a confession kasi I'm very new to this one. Even though I'm not new to public speaking or to writing, I'm new to podcasting.
But you're doing a very, very good job.
Thank you. Pinoy Rock USA is only technically, if you don't count 2010, it's only less than 4 months old.
Right.
And I've been only podcasting less than 4 months old. So I want to go with the ones who've been doing it longer.
Okay.
And I want to see the style and because I don't want the questions to overlap as well. Right. And I don't want to, kunyari, let's say interviewing ko si David muna, and I may miss some questions that are important. So that's why I want those who are more experienced to ask the good questions first, and then anything they may have missed, I could compliment.
Yon.
That's why I want you to go first.
Yon.
Right?
Pwede rin. Tama rin.
Yeah.
Because again, hindi ko naman di matatanong lahat ng tanong.
Well, that's the thing. If the things that you can't ask, I ask it.
Ito naman ang question ko. Nabibitin ako sa podcast mo. Bakit ganun lang siya kaikli?
Well, here's the thing. There's a rule with podcasts for me, especially because it's not a video podcast. Ibang video podcast, audio podcast. The rule of thumb for audio podcast is it has to be enough time for someone to be driving back from work to listen to it start to finish. And usually someone's trip is around 30-40 minutes. I told that to Don kasi Don Morales was also asking, bitin din ako sa mo, but
maybe kita mo, di ba? Maybe kailangan mong kasi ang nakukuha ko naman one time, trinay ko like yung episode ni JJ was 1 hour and 5 minutes. 1 hour 6 minutes ba sa'yo, Jay, mga ganon, no? So,
I was one of the first podcasts I listened to. Yeah.
Tapos yung kay Jaja was only 35 minutes kasi yun ang sinimulan ko eh.
Yeah.
Ang mga sagot nila, bitin, sabi ko, hindi ba sobra na yun? So what they do pala is work, pause, chores. Sabi ganon.
Okay.
Kasi ako sa podcast mo, ganon ang balak kong consumption.
Yeah.
And oo nga, no? Like from my drive home from work, natatapos ko.
Exactly.
Pero ang point ko, pagdating ko na sa bahay at wala pang tao sa bahay, ulila na ako.
Well, that's the thing. It promotes thirst. That's why you're gonna be paying attention next week.
Isang linggong thirst.
Because again, unless it's a very talented like for example, like you, wherein your conversations are always interesting, people can afford to pause it, work, and then when they're on their way home, continue it.
Balik na naman.
So if it's compelling enough, but for people like me, because ako, again, I'm just starting, so medyo may inferiority complex.
So may future. So in other words, you're not closing the door to a longer. Good.
No. Because if there's content, like for example, I did the 2-3 podcasts ago, I did a decade of excess, wherein I just went crazy because I was in a nostalgic mode. So I went straight 80s. I featured Transformers, the movie. I featured all the theme songs for the 80s. I featured 3 bands. And it went for 78 minutes.
Normally, ka 1 band, 2 bands max.
Well, no, 3 bands.
3 bands max.
3 bands max. And because I want the priority.
78 minutes, ganda.
78 minutes. And I wanted the priority to be with the bands.
Right.
That's why I always save my spiel. I always save my rants and my diatribes at the very end. Because just in case people just want to turn off, that's the most convenient time to do it. After they've listened to the bands. Because I want them to listen to the bands first. If they wanna, if they're not interested in what I need to say,
correct,
they're not guilty in turning it off.
Correct.
It's the best point. Now, for other podcasters who want to promote themselves in front of the bands, they're gonna save the bands for last.
Yes.
Because they want to make sure that the people will listen to what they need to say first and then listen to the band.
Pero tama yung ginagawa mo. Because yung meats and potatoes, ilagay mo na sa umpisa.
Exactly.
Yeah. Diba? And then ang tanong ko, are these bands aware that you're actually doing them a favor also?
I don't know. I don't ask them. I know Marvin. Marvin is always thanking me and I thank him. Nakakatawa nga, nagpapasalamata kami dalawa.
Sobrang bait ng taong yun.
Oo nga. Talaga yun. Saludo ako kay Marvin. And then, Ferds is the same way.
Yes.
Nagpapasalamat din siya. Ako nagpapasalamat sa'yo. You have the content, man. I just broadcast the content. So,
wait. I have to disagree. You don't just broadcast the content because ang content nila is their music.
Yeah.
However, what you're doing is you're making people like me aware of what to listen. Binubuksan mo yung reticular namin eh. Ito ang pakinggan nyo dito sa bandang to. You actually don't just spin the songs.
I choose the song.
Not only do you choose the songs, hindi mo lang siya kinocurate, inaano mo siya eh. Nire-regurgitate, dinadigest mo talaga. Tapos sasabihin mo sa amin kung ano ang dapat mong Guys, you have to listen to Pinoy Rock USA if you haven't. Ang ginagawa mo is, ito ang pakinggan nyo, ito ang ginagawa niya rito. So now, when I listen, like si Julie, I've listened to Julie's songs, Julie Saints, whom we've also had the privilege of guesting here.
Yeah, great artist.
Feature mo siya. Right? Feature mo si Julie. Hindi mo na sinabing, Julie Saints.
Yeah.
Hindi.
Yeah, of
course,
yeah.
Like, okay, anong sasabihin ni DJ Tulisan tungkol kay Julie Saints?
A backstory.
Yung backstory gives context to the performance.
Yes.
So now you're listening to it not just with fresh ears, but with a new perspective.
That is my intention. Because it's easy to listen to a song if you know the background of the song.
So ang tanong ko, na-appreciate ba ng mga artist? Because if you were going to do that, well, you already did, but someone spending time, which is what you do, should be, guys, if you're an artist and you've been featured on Pinoy Rock USA, I mean, hindi naman siguro masama to actually send DJ Tulisan a thank you note or a Stella Artois.
Ubus na to.
Diba? Pero diba, I mean, yun ang point ko eh.
Well, some of them do. Actually,
Okay.
some of them, well, no, not some of them, all of them. That's why I have the great luck of featuring great appreciative artists, because all of them, every time, first of all, when I do the feature, like the spotlight, and then the spotlight, I have to say, yung spotlight talaga, I work on that as soon as I receive.
Tell me the process.
Okay. Well, first of all, when I want to feature an
The show
artist,
is every Friday.
yeah.
Where do you start?
Okay. Monday or Tuesday,
Wow.
I send them an email saying, okay, I want to feature you. Okay. I just need the history of your art, your history or the history of your band, how you got into, what's your, the typical, not really slum book questions, but the questions. And then if you have any demos, only if you could, if there's no copyright concerns, please send them to me so I can feature it. If you have any pictures that you want to feature, then submit them to me. Otherwise, I'm just going to go into your Facebook page and choose what I want.
Right.
Things like that. So usually, most of the time, 90% of the time, they get back to me within a day or two.
Okay. So mga Wednesday na yan o Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday, oh my God. Thursday, usually Thursday.
Oh my God. So
and
cramming.
then I write it on Thursday. This is the thing with writers kasi writer ako. It takes me longer to pre-plan than to actually write it. So for example, if I see the information at 9:00 in the morning, I'm gonna spend almost the whole day trying to start it.
Okay.
Trying to find out, how do I start this? What's the angle that I want on this? And when I get that angle, I write it for 1.5 hours.
So pre-plan mo is in your head?
Yes.
Okay.
So the writing is just 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And then most of the time I give them a draft.
Really?
I give them a draft so that if I miss something, if I misspell something, if I mention something that's not actually part of what they sent me, they could correct me.
So this is like you making them an electronic press kit.
Exactly. It's a good thing that you mentioned that because that's exactly what I told them at first. I'm doing your EPK. I'm doing your EPK free of
Sa
charge.
sa mga hindi nakakaalam ng EPK, this is something that all artists must have. It's parang kung may junket, maraming press people, ito yung inaabot mo sa kanila. Mm-hmm. There's your song, there's your biography, there's your discography, there's the band members, the personnel.
And if you notice the article that I have, it has their information, it has the band members, it has the videos, it has the albums, it has the information.
Yun na yun.
That's the EPK.
That's about $500 to $1,000.
Exactly.
And you don't charge?
I don't charge. The only thing I ask is that I feature it on the site, but you can use it. You don't even have to
ask permission.
You don't even have to caption me or credit me if you don't want to. But it would be appreciated if you did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the service I provide because it's mutual because I'm using their band and their music as content. But the output that I have, they could use however they feel.
You know what? Now, the word mutual. Wait, hold on a second. Jay, can you face the fan more to Tolitz?
More to Tolitz.
Kasi ito tumatama sa ating ano.
I could feel it, yeah.
You can feel your titties. Sana malamang hindi ko ma-edit out tong part na to. So, kasama to.
Di mo ba ma-edit?
So, hindi, okay na? Okay. Sige. So, kaya ako tinatanong, kasi yung word na mutual, very very crucial. Respeto yan di ba?
Yes.
You're not, like what you said, you're not mooching on their talent. And at the same time, they're getting something from you that is of value.
And that's why I said, coming from someone who's in the indie scene, I know what bands need.
But do they know what they need?
Well, no, they'll appreciate it once they see it. Because
do you tell them?
No, I don't. Well,
why not?
No, I don't tell them because I don't want to tell them that you need me.
No, but they need an EPK.
Well, no, but I don't want to tell them. I don't want them to be obligated.
Okay.
To, like, for example, okay, we need to be featured here because he has something that we need. I want it to be like a friendly exchange of ideas, exchange of content. Because there are some people who feature bands and then after they feature it, they forget all about them.
Correct.
Right? They move on to the next.
Ikaw hindi, you're building.
No, because for example, if that's why I'm waiting for Kali 143 to come up with their new songs because I told them as soon as you release your new songs, let me know.
Good.
So I could promote it. I could put it on the radio rotation. I could feature it in my rockcast, things like that. And I said, Ferds knows this because I always tell him, as soon as you release your second album, make sure that I'm the first people.
Alam mo ba?
Si
Ferds at saka si Marvin. Si Ferds the Monumental by far, si Marvin ng Kalye 143. Nakakatuwa yung dalawang yan because they're building their own networks. Si Marvin, una kinusap namin ni JJ when he was here, nung nag-guest siya, sabi namin, you should start what Tolitz and I are doing in LA. Kailangan mo simulan sa Oregon.
Yes. Because
eventually, wouldn't it be nice kung mga indie bands can go from one state to another state at may market tayo ron?
Yes, that's the intention. That's one of my goals is to have Pinoy bands, Pinoy artists visible in as much states as possible.
Yes.
That's why nung una, I was not content. I was actually a little guilty that the first few bands that I was featuring was in the West Coast. Like, like a California, either galing sa Los Angeles, galing sa Orange County, or galing sa San Francisco. Sinabi ko, this won't do, man, because, might as well just put it California Rock USA, right?
Correct.
So I wanted to extend. That's why Marvin was a godsend. Kasi he's also referring people from Portland and Seattle.
Galing, no?
Godzilla, my last featured band, was a referral.
Alam mo, kung gano'n din lang, marami rin akong i-refer na banda dahil yung mga amoy barya ng Seattle.
I already been in contact with
Okay,
Amoy Barya.
Good. Pati sina Evil Glenn, lahat sila. The whole Seattle scene.
Yes, because I want, again, gusto ko as much states as possible. And I want to share the story because Marvin's brother is in a band in Chicago before.
Okay.
The band was Lost Poetics.
Okay.
And I think they were active there until maybe 2005, 2006. And the reason they stopped was because there's no... It's not like it's not like Los Angeles where you have like other Filipinos listening to you.
Yeah.
So they had to stop. I think his brother is now in San Francisco. But I said, okay, well, let me check it out. And it was good. It was a good album. It was awesome. It was great. It was namanghanga ako eh. Sila ko, it's well written, maganda yung melodies. That's why I had to feature it. I put it in the radio rotation. And I was thinking, there are probably a crapload more bands like this who had to stop because they didn't have the following, they didn't have the exposure, but they have good songs. They're a good band. Yeah. And I'm actively looking for those people. That's why pumunta ako sa Spotify before and I was looking for old local Pinoy bands. The Quagos, Happy Analogs. Bands like those. Like I was looking at the Silver Shiny Jeepney.
Sina Shikes Barbero nakausap mo na.
Yes, Shikes is also one of those people who are actively referring bands.
Why not his band?
I featured Hyphens.
How about the Emoticons? Yung
not yet. Because you haven't been recommending it to me. So if you want it featured, just let me know.
Alam ko namatay na singer ng isa sa mga Emoticons namatay na eh.
Oh, talaga?
It was God bless him.
Well, speaking of that, I also featured again nung I'm in the indie scene and I know of bands who are playing in Los Angeles. I think I featured one of the bands called Pillowcase 203. Their vocalist passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
In a hit and run accident.
Yeah.
So I featured this song because, again, if you're an indie band and you've been playing for a long time and then your music suddenly stops because of unfortunate events, you would want someone to remember them.
Yes.
And that's why it's me putting myself in their shoes. Okay, if I had a song that hasn't been played for 2 years, wouldn't it be great to suddenly listen to it again?
That's true.
Right. So it's just a matter of empathy for me.
Yes. Ang galing. Ang galing.
Ganun nga kasi the experiences that yung mga experiences mo ayaw mo maranasan ng ibang mga banda minsan.
Would you be willing to feature bands, indie bands na local dito na tumiwalag na because unfortunately hindi ka na nila nahintay? Would you be willing to feature those bands?
What do you mean hindi nahintay?
Tulad ng Ben Paltic.
Oh, I was listening to Ben Paltic earlier. Like, sa Zen Sushi, napapakinggan ko.
Tulad ng Project State Unknown, di ba? Nung nawala si Sheldon, naging si Star You Singer.
Yeah, we played with them actually.
There you go. Those bands na wala silang nakitang future kasi walang Pinoy Rock USA.
Yes.
It would be nice to be the XB of...
Yes, I want that. But again, I'm just one person. Someone has to give me the leads. Because sometimes hindi ko
matandaan. So ngayon, guys,
for example, Project State Unknown, that's the first time I heard of it in 2 years.
See?
Project State Unknown.
Alam mo, sayang ka. Hanapin ko yung album. May album ako nun. Matutuwa sina...
And again, it's a call out to Rod Matias of
1521.
1521 because he set up like a compilation called Pinoy Bato. Pinoy Bato compilation, which is now at 5 CDs. These contain bands from early 2000s who were indie bands.
Kita mo?
Indie bands. And I said, I need all of those songs.
So kailan magkakaroon ng Pinoy Pop USA? Hindi ba masyado limited yung Pinoy Rock USA? Kasi feeling ko parang...
That's a good question that I can't answer.
Paano naman yung mga solo artists na... Nagigat...
Yeah, I know.
Alam mo.
if I had a connection, if I had a
kasi kaibigan mo na rin si Joseph Bayan.
yeah, if I was gravitated to pop, no problem. But rock talaga ako pare. Rock lang eh.
I guess pag naging two-man team na kayo.
Maybe,
team,
there we go.
Diba?
See, that's a possibility.
Okay,
I'm just one person.
Ikaw ang pop department, pero ikaw pa rin ang godfather ng lahat ng mga yan.
Yeah. Again, may mga pop songs siyempre akong gusto, pero again, it's a 10 to 1
Alam mo,
ratio.
pwede ba ako mag-request? Sana pag super hindi na kaya ng dalawang kamay mo yung pagdi-DJ mo, gusto ko magkaroon ka ng DJ Rex Vincent.
Mahirap yan kasi hindi mo mahagilap yan.
Yun na nga eh. Pero nakakatawa talaga siya magsalita.
Ako talaga. Ako talaga nag-form ng banda na yun. Ako talaga.
Feeling ko pag nag-review siya ng mga kanta, matatawa ng sa mga review na gagawin niya.
Pero ang kay Rex, kasi siya parang ano siya parang sprint. You can only rely on him for like 10 minutes.
Wala na.
Tapos ano na yan, ano ba to?
So ADHD.
Ano na yan. Iba na magiging concern niya. So pwede siya for bite-sized commentary.
Right. Okay. Now, sino ka nung bata ka? Para magkaroon ka ng pusong ganto. Okay, you're a very articulate person, but who were you growing up?
Wow, where do we start?
Kasi hindi ka lang naman nautot na, you know what, I'm gonna do this. Ibig sabihin, you were grounded. Kanina off-cam, one thing that really struck na sabi ko, okay, kaya pala ganito personality nito. You mentioned na nagpunta kayo ng daddy mo sa KFC.
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, may daddy ka.
Oh, of course.
Maraming taong walang daddy eh.
Oo nga.
Diba?
Well,
you know what I mean? So, ibig sabihin, may nucleus ka.
Well, I had a father, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
who were you growing up?
Okay, are we going to be concentrating on music or just me
this is
like,
you.
The times of your life?
This is you. So I wanna get the context of you.
Okay, let's start. It was a quiet day in 1973. No, just kidding. I grew up a devout Catholic.
Okay.
I think I already told my friends about this. I went to St. Joseph's Academy in Las Piñas from grade 2 to high school graduate. And I went to church twice a day.
Twice a day?
From grade 2 to high school. Once before I go to school and once before I go home.
Are you the eldest?
Yes, I am the eldest.
Okay.
And doon ko na yung values ko for, like a understanding.
Right.
For people. That's where I develop it because, again, even though I go to church twice a day, I read the Bible 3 times, cover to cover, during that time. But I didn't treat it as literature or a historical document. I treated it as inspiration.
Right.
Especially, like the Gospels.
Right.
So I had that particular upbringing. And then when I went to college,
saan ka na college?
Sa Lasal Dasmariñas, which is Lasal EAC when I first came in.
Anong course?
I came in for physical therapy for 3 years. Nag-PT ako because that's what everyone was
Para si Richard.
doing.
Para yung singer ng New Day in August.
Initially, I wanted to take up nursing because mas in naman ng nursing, but there were so many people taking up nursing na nagkaroon ng
backlog.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, either you wait another year to get into nursing or you could take up either physical therapy or x-ray tech. Okay.
Physical therapy.
Physical therapy, of course. Kasi narinig ko rin sa Pilipinas, laki ng kita ng mga PT. Dapat yan ang kunin mo. Pag nakagraduate ka, hindi ka na mag-aalala. So I took up PT and my mistake was I didn't like PT. I was in it for the money. I was in it
selling out.
Yes. Because that's what my parents wanted.
Yeah.
That's what my other relatives wanted.
Hindi
That's
mo
what
passion.
Yeah, so I could handle the course because I like reading. I would like to consider myself a smart person.
Right.
So I could handle the courses, but I couldn't keep my attention on it.
Yeah.
So after the third year,
pero 3 years pa rin yun, ha? Talaga?
Yeah. No, actually, I was in the waiting list. I scored so high on the qualification exam. Nasa waiting list ako. So I knew I was qualified, but when I started getting serious on PT, I couldn't keep my attention on it. Like for example, na madali ako maburido kasi mag-aaral ka ng half a book tapos ang exam 10 items lang. Tapos ang passing grade 7.
Yeah.
I get
Lasal
6.
I
get 6. I get 5. I get
65
6.
yun.
Laging bagsak. Na ano ako.
Lagi kang uno.
Lagi uno. So I said,
baliktad ng Lasal, di ba?
Baliktad.
Uno is mababa.
No, 4
is mababa.
4 ang mataas.
Kaya nga, uno nga is mababa.
Uno mababa, tama.
Kasi sa mga ibang colleges, uno ang mataas di ba?
Kaya nga nagyayabang nga yung tatay ko dati kasi nagyayabang ako. Uy, ako naka-4 ako. Tatay ko, yabang mo. Ako nga 5
Teka. Babalik tayo. Maganda yung story. Pero commercial break muna tayo. We'll be back. Okay, so lagi kang uno.
Oo. Lagi ang uno. So, nangyari, I think, kasi,
major subject na to kung third year.
Yeah. 2 anatomy subjects, 2 physiology subjects. Anatomy 1, 2, physiology 1, 2. Pasa lang ako sa anatomy 1. Ngayon, sa anatomy 2, physiology 1, physiology 2, actually, tinutulungan ako. Meron akong kaklase na munti ko na naging girlfriend na tinutulungan ako. Siya naging hindi naman valedictorian.
Suma.
Honor student siya sa PT. She was helping me trying to stay in PT.
Ikaw talaga
Ako talaga ayaw ko, but she was trying her best to help me stay in PT. And I did the effort. But when I was taking the exam, I said, okay, moment of truth sa akin eh. Do I really want to continue? Because this is the 3rd year. There are 2 more years.
5 years.
5 years. Well, granted, 5th year is internship. Pero the 4th year is yun talaga yung madugo.
Talaga sunog kilay.
Kasi diba? Kapag hindi mo talaga gusto ang PT, kumbaga parang nagsayang ka lang ng 4 na taon.
Yeah.
So, I tried my best on the first 2 exams, pero in the 3rd exam, I just gave up. I said, I was answering, I think, the first page, and I just submitted the paper. I said, fuck this. I mean,
no looking back. Huh?
Yeah, because sinabi ko, whatever. But also, nakatulong din because Lasal das Marinas was opening up AB Communication. Nalaman ko yun, and I think if Lasal das Marinas never had AB Communication, I wouldn't have given up.
So yun ang naging, that's what pushed you.
I had a fallback.
Okay.
Just in case. So nagano ako doon, and then when I went to AB Communication, it was like nag-open up yung nag-open up yung horizons ko because I'm finally doing something that I like doing, which is media, which is writing, which is broadcasting, which is everything. Print media.
Ano sabi ng parents mo nito?
Oh God. Shit. Siguro minura ako, sinabi ko.
Tanda mo, yung panganay nilang anak na inaasahan nilang magiging PT.
Sinabi nila, well, not my mom, mabait nanay ko. Well, my dad said, matapos ang 3 taon, putang ina ka, lilipat ka lang ng kurso. Wala kwenta yung kurso na yan, hindi ka kikita dyan.
I know.
Magugutom ka lang dyan. Wala sa itsura mo maging broadcaster, ba't mo kukunin yan? Ganun, di ba? So parang but I had to stick with it because that's what I love doing.
What was the conversation like? You were not disrespectful.
No, I was not. Well, and first of all, I was there and they were here. My parents were already here.
Okay.
And they were the ones sending the tuition money. Yeah. That's why.
So sino na kay ni Rodel? Sino na nasa...
Nandito na si Rodel noon.
Okay.
Nandito na. My other brother who's in Canada, the 2 of us were there. And ironically, my brother was taking up X-ray tech in that time. So the one that I didn't take, he was taking. Yeah. And he graduated. So, he stuck the course. Yeah. So I was, from being hope, from being a new hope, I was the last Jedi. Di ba? So, yun ang nangyari. So, but I stuck with it because that's what I love. Because ang alternative ko lang, if there was no AB Communication in LaSalle, I would have applied at LaSalle Taft.
Right.
Or Mascom.
Correct. Comarts yun eh.
Yeah.
Pinadalan ka ba ng pera pa rin ng mami at daddy mo?
Yeah, well, anak eh. Okay. So, after they let me hear it, after they let me have it, they said, okay, well, di ka na namin di ka naman namin mapapabayaan. Yeah. So, pinadalan pa rin ako. Granted, it's now cheaper because mas cheap ang AB Communication kaysa PT. So, but I excelled on that one.
Kasi ano mo yun eh. Passion mo yun eh.
Yeah, that was my passion. I would like writing. I liked speaking.
Yeah.
initially I didn't imagine myself as a broadcaster, pero it's by genes kasi my father has a baritone voice as well.
Ganyan din.
Yeah. So
nakakatakot.
Nakakatakot talaga. Kaya kapag traumatized kami nung bata kami. So kahit nung high school, nahalata nila, alam mo, dapat broadcaster ka.
So, ganyan nakababa boses mo, bata ka pala?
Well, no, not. Mas mababa pa ng konti. Well, no, mas mababa ngayon. Mas mababa ngayon. So,
pero mababa bago ka tinuli, mababa yung...
Ewan ko, hindi ko yun eh.
Kasi diba, pag nagbibinata ka, lalo bumababa yung boses mo, di ba? Like, yung isang anak ko, ang baba na ng boses. So sabi ko, ngayon mag-ano na siya, magta-13 na siya next year.
Mababa na yung boses?
Bumababa pa lalo yung boses. Okay, so talagang boses broadcaster.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was something that I love, and it went well because physical therapy was 5 years, and AB communication was 4 years.
Correct.
So since I was
na-carry over mo yung minor.
Since I was transferring, I was gonna be graduating the same year as my ex-classmates. So I didn't lose a year.
Yes.
I didn't lose a year, and I gained the major, right?
Galing.
So, yun ang ano. So, but I learned a lot of things there. And again, as I said, I was very, very conservative when I was in grade school up to high school. I was like,
by the book.
By the book talaga by the holy book, by the book. Yeah. But again, it's like a fish from a pond being exposed to the ocean.
Of course, kasi pag nasa commerce, kasi nag-commerce ako sa Lasal naman, sa TAF naman ako nag-com-arts. And doon, talagang sari-saring tawa ang makikita mo talaga ron.
Yeah.
Kanya-kanyang utak ang lumalabas dyan.
Ganun.
So, that really stimulated your...
Yeah, because I became, it diversified my viewpoint. It means that I never got to hold myself back.
Right.
That's why I had the courage to leave PT, because I knew that there were other things that I can do.
Correct.
Right? I wasn't tied to that. I wasn't held captive to that.
Correct.
So that's how I am. And then during that time, I discovered that, let's backtrack. When I was in high school, my brother was being taught the piano. Right?
Sinong brother to?
The Rodel, the opera singer. So he was taught the organ. And then, tinamad siya.
Pero ikaw nagigitara ka nun?
No,
I
wasn't playing
no
any
instrument.
That was in high school. I wasn't playing any instrument.
What the heck?
But my dad already paid for a whole year in organ lessons for Rodel, and he stopped 3 months into it.
Now, to people going, anong difference ng organ at saka piano? Ang organ is dalawa at may paapang kasama yun for the bass.
Yep, exactly. So, who was left to...
may organ ba kayo sa bahay?
May organ. Binili ng tatay ko talaga. Kasi, ang tatay ko kasi, he's musically inclined.
Okay.
He knows how to play the piano and the guitar and the organ.
Okay.
So, that's why he wanted my brother to learn the organ. My brother, tinamad ang kapatid ko. So, since nabayaran na yun and it's non-refundable, someone has to take over. And who is it?
Ikaw?
Of course.
Did you want to?
No. I didn't want to. But syempre, sinabi nila, sayang yung pera eh. Sayang yung pera, kailangan
bilang panganay, ikaw ang sumalo.
Oo, so sumalo ako. So,
pero good, ano ka pa nito? By the book ka pa nito kaya, yes, daddy?
Yes, of course, yeah. So ako, pag nag-ano ko, again, I have no patience. I never learned how to read notes. I never learned how to read notes. Tinuturuan ako mag-organ. They were asking me to read the thing. But what I did was I did my homework. After umalis yung teacher, kinapa ko. So that by the next lesson, I could pretend that I'm reading the music.
Alam mo kung sino katulad mo? Yan, si JJ.
It's good because...
Si JJ, gano'n.
Yeah, because I didn't want... I had no patience learning the notes, and I wanted to go with the lesson. Pretend that I am following the lesson. So I was playing it as if I was reading the notes, right? And then, I think the teacher found out after 2 months na I was pretending because I was playing the notes from the second page. So that's why she was looking at me. Says, Stop. Did you really read the notes? Yeah, kasi I was playing the second. Kasi alam ko na yung kanta eh.
Of course.
I could play it without the book.
Without the sheet,
Kinapa ko na eh. But I was forced
kinapa mo pati paa.
Pati paa, yeah. Because I was, yung nagwiwido ka, di ba, inano mo. Kasi yun nga, naano yung tenga ko, doon na-train yung tenga
Mahirap
ko.
ba mag-bass ng paa?
Oh my God.
Si Geddy Lee ng Rush, gano'n, di ba?
Ang hirap. Kasi yung ano mo, yung...
heel toe yun, right? Lalo pag
saka yung syncopation ng ano mo, yung ano mo, yung flexibility ng ano mo eh.
So,
diba?
Ginawa mo lahat yun?
Ginawa ko lahat yun. Kaya, natapos din yung lesson.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, tapos na rin. And then in high school, uso New Wave. And guess sino mga star kapag New Wave? Keyboards, di ba? So, ginawa ko, kinapa ko yung mga kasi alam ko na yung basics eh. Kinapa ko yung mga keyboards ng New Wave.
Of course.
So mga banda kasi doon, kaunti lang kasi nag-New Wave talaga kasi karamihan classically trained na piano, hindi pwedeng New Wave keyboardist eh.
Yeah.
So
sa malaman tinutugtug yung mga Just Can't Get Enough, di ba?
Mismo, mga The Cure, mga
Ghost in You.
Yun, lahat yun. Tinutugtog yung buong high school, I think it was from 87 to 90.
Wow.
87 to 90 nasa New Wave. Well, New Wave banda ko.
Yeah.
So ganun. So that's what I learned. That was the only instrument I learned. And then when I went to college, it was grunge. There's no room for keyboard.
I know.
Grunge, right? So, I didn't know how to play the guitar. So, anong nangyari, alam mo yung mga naglilibot na mga baka? Yung mga baka na may mga, mga nipa, yung mga... So, may gitara silang tinda. Mura lang, 100 pesos lang eh.
Para mga lumanog style.
So, bumili ako. Yung pa yung hindi pa liha. Kaya nahihiwa yung kamay mo. Yun yung mga binili ko. So, nag-aaral ako mag-gitara para lang makagetin ako. Nangyari nung dun sa dorm namin, lahat marunong mag-gitara.
Ang dami yung gitarista.
Ang daming gitarista. There was a time na sa isang dorm, there were 7 of us, all with guitars. So 7 acts attack yun. So so I said, okay, this is saturated. Kailangan may So that's the time I tried my hand on drums.
Pero teka, dorm, ibig sabihin nagka-college ka na nito?
College na to. So I tried my hand on drums.
So, paano ka maglalagay ng drum sa dorm?
No, yun ang doon. I didn't have drum set.
Sa rehearsal studio ka?
No,
saan?
I studied it.
Unan. Sa unan at saka, wow.
Yeah, because as long as katunog,
pwede na.
And then that's why first time nang pupunta kami sa studio.
At saka nag-organ ka so may concept ka ng rhythm.
Yes, may na ako. So first time nung nagkaroon ako ng banda in college, first time namin pumunta sa studio, that was the first time I played on the drums.
And nahuli mo kagad?
Nahuli ko kagad kasi I was practicing it already.
Galing, no?
So the band was Beowulf. In high school, in college.
Doon pa lang nagsimula.
And I started out as the drummer sa Beowulf. So for 2 years, ako yung drummer. We were covering STP, we were covering live, we were covering the Electric album.
Oh my God, live, paboritong banda.
Yeah, so yun ang mga namin, yun ang mga pondo namin. And then our vocalist wanted to concentrate on guitars. So they needed a vocalist. And sinabi ko, ayoko na mag-drum. Sinabi ko kasi may kakilala ako na mas magaling na drummer, nahihiya. Kasi may inferiority complex ako eh. So I said, okay, let me try this kasi malalim ang boses ko eh. Siguro kaya ko itong STP.
Pero teka. Until right now, wala kang binabanggit na kumakanta ka. Ang sinasabi mo lang, organ and then drums.
Yes.
Okay, saan pumasok yung pagiging singer mo naman?
Well, because my brother... Remember nung 80s, may mga karaoke, may mga multiplex.
Yeah. Left and right.
Exactly, yeah. So merong tape, may deck 1 sa deck 2. So since singer yung kapatid ko, lagi meron nun.
Si Rodel, bata pa lang.
Nananalo siya sa mga amateur singing contest already.
Pero ikaw, you never really sang.
I never sang.
Okay.
So, pero, in secret, after kumanta ng kapatid ko, kumakanta ako. Kinakanta ko yung Maybe This Time. Kinakanta ko yung mga...
Pinoy Rock USA.
Maybe this time.
Just once.
So, yun So, nung high school, yun, palihim lang talaga. Sabi ko, kapag naiingit kasi ako sa kapatid ko, sinabi ko, dapat siguro tumatakbo naman sa dugo yun. Magaling naman siguro ako kumanta. Yeah. So, meron na akong counting pundasyon noon kasi at least in tune ako.
Yun eh.
Kahit na hindi ko kuha yung tremulo, kahit na wala akong vibrato, in tune ako.
Naabot mo yung mga notang kailangan tamaan kung kailan kailangan tamaan.
Exactly.
So, yung singer ng Beowulf, naging gitarista, yung drummer ng Beowulf, paano mo sinabi? Ako nakakanta, paano mo sinabi yun?
Ang ginawa ko muna, kinuha ko muna yung drummer. Okay. Siya na magda-drums.
Ano sabi nila?
Isa ako sa mga nag-form ng band eh. Hindi nila pwede sipahin eh. Ano kaya magagawa ko? walang vocalista. Sige. Subukan natin to. Okay, sige, STP. Flash tayo. Okay.
Di bagay, di ba?
Bagay, kasi malalim kasi boses ko eh. Bagay. Okay, ano susunod? Born to be Wild sa Electric album. Sige.
Bagay din.
Bagay din.
Wildflower, hindi nyo kinata. Wildflower!
Hindi namin sinubukan kasi hindi kaya ng gitarista. So, doon nagsimula. Tapos, yun nga, nagano kami, may mga original songs na kinakanta yung vocalista dati na sinubukan ko, sana hindi siya nakikinig dito. Mas bagay sa akin. So mas bagay sa akin yung mga kanta. And doon nagsimula yung ano ko.
Okay.
So, from that time, na ano ko yung several stages of being a band member.
So, time out. When you were with Beowulf, PT?
PT na ako.
Okay.
PT na ako.
Kaya pala kayo, okay. Kaya na-analyze ko. So, nagkakaroon na ng katok. Nagkakaroon ka na ng katok sa puso na medyo hindi tugma tong your elbow with your okay.
Kaya it opened up for me because when I switched to AB Communication, that's when I got to
express yourself.
Yeah, really get serious with the band.
Yeah.
Because hindi na magiging conflict dun sa mga study groups namin sa PT, di ba? So that's when we...
No pun intended, stiff yung mga
pero sila sumasagot ng mga lunch namin.
Syempre.
Kaya
Future rich kids yun.
Kaya nangyari, yun nga. So, I experienced every stage of being a band member in almost all positions. Kaya I have a little insight into what every position feels on that one. And I think it contributed to how I'm dealing with other bands right now kasi I know how they feel on a like intimate
granular,
level.
On a granular level talaga.
Yeah, because if you've been a vocalist all your life, you wouldn't know what a drummer feels or what a
pakiramdam sa
keyboardist
likod,
feels.
no?
Yeah. You wouldn't know what someone on the back who's always outside the spotlight feels, right?
Ironically speaking, no, yung drummer position and yung keyboard player position, those are both
in the back.
Introvert positions.
You want to know a surprise?
Of course.
I'm introvert. See? You didn't know that. So I'm introvert. But now I have confidence.
Now you're intro voice.
Yeah. Now I'm intro voice. Yeah. Introvert turned to intro voice. Yeah.
Pero
only from Bayan Promotions.
I know. Paano mo nagawa na from introvert hindi ka hinatak maging singer? Paano mo sinabing ako na lang kakanta?
Well, I said, may alam ba kayong ibang kakanta?
Pero bakit mo naramdaman sa sarili mo na ikaw ang kakanta?
Because let's admit it, I was humming the songs. Every time outside of practice,
and you felt that you could do a better job.
And I said, I could hit the notes.
Right.
And I felt that I could sing it better. And I wanted to see if I could do it.
Correct.
So that was my, kumbaga, not really a moment of truth, but that was my coming out party. Diba?
Yeah.
I said, let me try singing it. When actually I'm saying, let me see if I can sing it.
Diba?
So, but they'll appreciate it more if I say, let me sing it, rather than let me try singing it, right?
Yes.
So you have to give that extra oomph.
Pero yung ano ang galing yung confidence nanggaling sa deep inside mo talaga no?
Yeah. It's a amalgamation of all the things that I experienced before.
Right.
Kasi I knew that I could be a keyboardist. I knew that I could be a
drummer,
and I could be a drummer, right? Why not a vocalist?
Oo nga.
So I said, let's try this. This is another mountain I could cross.
Paano nakatulong yung pagiging comm arts mo sa pagiging singer mo?
Well, because I could express myself
better.
More.
Yeah.
I could express myself because with AB Communication, expressing yourself is part of the course.
And it's encouraged.
Yeah. You say anything that's in your mind. Say anything that you want to say. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense now, but it's gonna make sense later.
Right.
So that helped in
Did that help build your confidence?
Yes, heavily. Yeah, and I had great teachers as well. That's why importante talaga kapag may
mentor,
magaling teacher talaga.
That's true.
Yeah, because it allows you to open up and not be shy about showing it.
Now, while you were doing this, Beowulf, PT, Beowulf pa rin ba when you shifted from PT to comm arts?
Yeah.
Okay, so now Beowulf, comm arts, and then you graduated comm arts. What did you do next?
Well, we the culmination was when we nung sumali kami sa Battle of the Bands sa Lasal.
Yamaha. Okay.
Sumali kami sa Battle of the Bands sa Lasal. Ginanap yun doon sa may lake.
Yeah.
Kaya maganda yung venue namin kasi yung Battle of the Bands sa amin sa lake overlooking the lake Champion kami. That's our second year with me as vocalist. And we sang 2 songs.
Anong songs ang kinanta nyo?
Balong Malalim and Kaibigan.
Kaibigan yung original. Yes. The one that you play sa Pinoy Rock USA.
Okay. So those are the 2 songs that we played. And tinalo namin yung mga matagal na nagbabanda sa Dasmariñas. Kaya that filled us with pride.
Of course.
So say okay, so it's that's why I think we didn't really get cocky, but we said okay, we can do anything. And as long as you apog lang talaga eh.
Yeah.
Kailangan tapangan mo lang eh.
Ilan taon ka nito?
Huh?
How old were you?
God, that was 1995. So I was about 21, 22.
Okay.
21, 22 years old, yeah. So from then on, this is funny. Because the organizer for the Battle of the I was actually in Heraldo Filipino. Because when I switched to AB Communication, I was part of the paper.
Yeah, Heraldo Filipino. Tagal ko hindi narinig yung pangalan.
Heraldo Filipino. I was features. And then the reason I was supposed to be groomed as the editor-in-chief for that one, but they couldn't qualify me because may bagsak ako sa PT.
Binilang nila yun? Kahit nag-shift ka?
It's required because editors get scholarships.
Okay.
And you can't get a scholarship pag may failing subject ka.
Okay.
So, in turn, dahil may failing subject ako, hindi ako pwede maging editor.
So, nagka-5 ka.
Nagka-5. Yes.
Ang dami ko noon. Ang dami ko 5.
But, going back to that one, the Pol-Sci department sponsored the Battle of the Bands.
Right.
And I was a features editor. I was a beat reporter. I was trying to find out what's wrong with the registrar, what's wrong with the thing. And then I found out that the budget that was used for that Battle of the Bands didn't really reconcile with what was spent.
Talaga nag-imbestiga ka ng gano'n.
So, kami ang nanalo sa Battle of the Bands, pero gumawa kami ng expose. Doon sa Battle of the Band.
Salvahe.
Kaya pinatawag kami sa Pol-Sci. Ako actually pinatawag kasi ako yung editor eh. Talagang sinabon ako. Nabi, ano ba, putang ina, ikaw na nga nanalo. Kami pa nga anuhin mo, wala ka namang utang na loob.
Typical Pinoy.
Ha?
Typical Pinoy,
Pinoy talaga. Pero nagkaroon kami ng mutual agreement na basta, sa next issue ng Heraldo Filipino, kailangan full disclosure kung ano yung ginastos nila.
Yeah.
Yun lang naman.
Dapat lang naman eh.
Yun lang naman ang gusto ko eh. Kaso nga lang sila kasi parang na-offend sila kasi putang ina niya nanalo ka na nga sa program na sa namin tapos ikaw pa nga hahabol sa akin.
Pinano mo ba? Pinursue mo pa ang journalism after college?
I wanted to. Well, that's the thing because after college I had to I worked at Philippine Daily Inquirer. After graduating.
Intramuros.
Mm-hmm.
Intramuros sila,
yes,
di ba? Yeah.
So I worked at Philippine Daily Inquirer for about 5-6 months. And then yung alma mater, Lasal Dasmariñas, had a shortage of teachers. So, they called on the alumni. Ako unang sumagot. Said, we need an instructor 1. So, sabi ko, sino mga tuturuan ko?
Ano term na ginagamit ni Michael Labad? Volunteer.
Voluntold.
Toad.
Voluntold.
Oh, voluntold. I told you.
Voluntold.
So ikaw ang nag-voluntold?
Yeah, so nag-volunteer ako kasi maganda During that time, that was 1996. You earned 9,000 pesos per month.
Malaki yun.
Instructor, malaki na yun.
Kasi kanina lang pinag-uusapan natin, ngayon 15,000 pesos. Buhay ka na nun.
And that's, and maganda doon, you're teaching people who are 2 years younger than you are.
Oy, senyor.
You could just imagine what my dorm was like.
Oh my God, riot. Of course.
Dami kong bisita.
I know.
Hindi lahat lalaki. Yun. So, nagturo ako doon.
How long?
Until 1997 and then I got...
Pero wait, ang mommy daddy mo never said, oy, pumunta ka na rito.
I was going to that. That 1997, they told me, okay, that's enough. We need you here.
Wow. Anong feeling nun?
I didn't want to go. Actually, they wanted me there after graduation.
Of course, kaya tinanong ko yung edad mo di ba?
I resisted because I said, no, I could still make it here. Sinabi ko, I'm working at Philippine Daily Inquirer. Hindi nyo ba alam kung gaano ka-importante yung newspaper na yun? Pwede ako maging beat reporter, pwede maging editor.
So when did the good kid become the rebel?
That's when I went here.
Okay.
That's when I went here. Well, no, I was already developing the penchant for it.
Right. Yung pagiging inquisitive mo, like, you know, like hindi puro yes.
Yes.
Let me question this. Bakit ganito?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
When you work for a paper, especially Heraldo Filipino, which is a super liberal newspaper,
right,
you can't be following the rules.
Right.
You have to go outside the rules and find the truth.
Correct.
Yun ang ano. So, doon na na-develop na yun. Doon na nagsimula. And then, when I got exposed to America, which is super diversified with all sorts of different cultures, all sorts of different religions, all sorts of different viewpoints. That's, from a fish in the ocean, I was exposed to outer space.
Galing.
So, it's limitless.
Okay, we'll talk about limitless pagbalik natin after these breaks. After this break, yun pala yun. Kampay. Kaya pa?
Kaya pa!
Okay.
So kung case na siya yung pusang yun.
So limitless. Di ba? Yung opportunities, yung lahat, that you can be anybody, anything here in this country. It wasn't the first time for you to come here, was it the first time?
The first time I went was 1992, which was I was in second year college.
That
was just a vacation.
Just to visit.
Just a vacation. So, but for good, 1997 talaga.
Anong feeling to leave the Philippines?
It was...
May iniwanan kang girl?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I did. She also worked at Philippine Daily Inquirer. I kept in touch.
Right.
So, ang nangyari, for the first 3 years, I wanted to go back. So
Hindi, pag-usapan muna natin paano you were an adult na pinagsasabihan ng magulang to do something, but you were already an adult.
Yeah, I'm already an adult. And then when I came here,
paano kanila na-convince? Paano, ano sabi?
No, it's more on my side kasi naawa ko.
Okay, good.
Naawa ko sa parents ko. Kasi
so, decision mo na talaga.
Because they've been asking me to come here since 1996. And I said no.
Okay.
And kumbaga parang inano na nila na, please.
Yun na yun. Wala ka na magagawa.
Please naman kasi parang kailangan na namin dito. And I finally knew the reason why. Which I don't know if you're gonna edit kasi magde-divorce na ang parents ko noon.
Ooh.
They were waiting for me to come here so that they could finalize it.
Oh, wow.
So that was the rude awakening. That's pretty much the catalyst.
Alam ba, one time sabi ko kay JJ Buen Camino, gusto mo malaman, and siguro he celebrated his 44th birthday ng mga time na to. Sabi ko, gusto mo malaman kung bakit yung mami at daddy mo hindi makapag-divorce. Sabi ni JJ Buen Camino, bakit? Kasi pinagtatalunan nila kung kanino yung custody sa'yo.
Pero mahirap yun ha. Talagang mahirap na decision yun.
44 na.
44.
So, I'm sorry.
Sabi niya, may bulbul na ang anak ko pero gusto ko pa rin siya.
So anyway, but you knew that they were going to divorce when you got here, or
when I got here, I
sakit
found out
naman, no?
about it. So
how did that make you feel?
Oh God, that's why I wanted to go home. I said, kasi I was open-eyed, I was open to new horizons. I was expectant, I was optimistic, and then yun ang ano sa akin. So sinabi ko,
I'm sorry.
So what's the use of me being here? Diba?
Kung kailan kayo sana makukumpleto and all that stuff.
Yes.
Parang,
so, well, it was a long time coming kasi talaga niya.
Okay.
May babaero sa pamilya, hindi nanay ko. So ang nangyari nga, so after that instance, for the next 3 years, I wanted to go home. I said, kasi meron pa rin akong iniwanan doon. I could start a family.
Long distance relationship yun eh.
I could start a family there. I could go back they were asking for me back at Las Aldas Marinas.
Right. May career ka na, in other words.
Yes, they were grooming me to be the dean of Arts and Sciences.
Yeah. Kita mo?
You know how much Dean of Arts and Sciences is earning right now? Oh my God.
Tapos may pension ka ba?
Yes. So,
tapos yung mga anak mo may discount pa?
Yun nga. Kaya I said, I wanted to go back. But I said, I need you here. And mag-isa na lang nanay ko.
Wow.
Right. And then my brother is still in the Philippines. And then, they all have their own lives. So I said, okay. So
did you tell your brother in the Philippines kung ano nangyayari sa mami at daddy dito?
I had to tell him because, kailangan talaga eh. So, make a long story short, after 3 years, I said, okay. That's the thing with America kasi pag bagong salta ka dito, after mga 2 to 3 years, gusto mong bumalik sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
You're so homesick. Pero once magkaroon ka ng kakilala dito,
ayaw mo
either mga kaklase mo, kaya mga katrabaho mo, parang nawa-water down na yung desire mo na.
So paano ka nakapag-break sa girlfriend mo?
I just said
Ginost mo na lang.
I just said I don't know what I'm gonna, because my dad was petitioning me.
Okay.
My dad was petitioning me.
So you had to really stay. Oh.
Yeah. So, and then Bush won the election and suspended petitions.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going to happen.
So
I was in limbo.
Yeah.
I was in limbo. So I told her, I don't know if I can come back. So we could continue this, but it's going to be harder for you.
Ang hirap ng phone card, no?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My God, ang mahal ng phone card.
Lalo pag nag-away kayo? Alam mo, ganun din ako pagdating ko sa Amerika noon. Yung girlfriend ko nasa Pilipinas, andito ako sa Amerika. So bibili ako ng $10 na phone card. Tapos doon sa pangalawang phone card, doon pa kami mag-aaway ng alas 11 ng gabi dito. And then magmo-monologue yung girlfriend mo. Tapos biglang, pag ikaw na magsasalita, biglang, you have 1 minute remaining.
Tapos nag-aaway ko yun, tapos sasabihin mo, mahal tatawag na lang ako mamaya. Iba, i-recharge ko lang yung phone card ko. Okay, bye-bye, love you.
But alam mo, buti nga, ikaw na-experience mo yung recharge. Ako, hindi ako nag-hotel. Ako bumibili talaga ako ng card. My God.
Dati kasi marami na sa Seafood City. Well, actually, hanggang ngayon marami pa rin na sa Seafood City.
Marami. Yeah. Okay, so kinalimutan mo ng Philippines when dito ka na nag-start ng sarili mong buhay.
It was hard, man, kasi you finished AB Communication. That's your major. And I applied for papers. I applied for newspapers here. But they won't even give you the time of day because you weren't born here. English is not your first language.
So, but you can write it.
English is not your first language.
But you can write.
That's the qualification. English is not your first language.
Ang salbahe.
Yeah. That was the qualification kaya hindi ako makapag-apply dito.
Asian Journal, hindi mo sinubukan?
Was there Asian Journal already during that time?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, but I was applying for the big ones.
Okay, LA Times,
LA Times, Wall Street Journal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like those big papers, right? Even LA Weekly.
Ako sinabi ko siya, nagtrabaho ako sa Fab.
Talaga?
Oh, that was the first Filipino, not Filipino, first LA gay and lesbian newspaper. Fab. Yun ang unang trabaho ko dito.
Oh, anong?
Nagsusulat ako for Fab and then nagbebenta ako ng ads for Fab. Gotcha. So pag Gay Pride, andito kami sa West LA and all that.
Sa West LA.
Okay, so tapos?
Yun, so I applied for that and I even went there in person.
So depressing.
Yeah, I went there in person. Back then, there was no, you can't just submit a PDF format. So
formal talaga. You have to go there, physical.
So, and then when the internet, this was the AOL years. So when the internet was starting to come up, I said there has to be an easier way for me to submit a resume rather than personally going to the building and giving it.
No?
So there was a way to make a web page look like a resume. Right? So I learned how to do web pages.
Out of necessity pala yan.
So I submitted that and then people liked the resume that I made and asked them, dude, can you make a resume for me?
Simon, ngayon may LinkedIn. Dati walang ganun, no?
So I got paid making resumes.
Right.
So, and then someone said, dude, I want to make a site about my nursing practice. Can you do a website for me? That was the job that I had. Web designer. And that's how I met Locomotive.
Because you did their website.
I did their website.
Oh,
that's how I got into the indie rock scene.
By accident lang to.
By accident.
You were at Zen Sushi.
Yeah, I was Zen Sushi. I didn't know who was there. I didn't know. I knew Basti, I knew Wolf, I knew David. I didn't know Locomotive. So when I went there and I saw them, I said, okay, so these are, may mga celebrity pala na mga bisita dito.
Right.
Yung pala sila yung banda. Ayos to parang 2 for the price of 1, right? So nakinig ako and then I met Dennis Santarinala. And then we got to talk.
Alam mo si Dennis nagbe-bass pala, no?
Nagana siya.
Langiya ka, Dennis. Kilala ko lang siya bilang magaling na photographer.
Oo, magaling yan.
Sakaling kita. Tsaka Tsaka gumagawa ng lamesa ngayon yun.
I didn't know that.
Magagandang, Dennis, if you're watching, sponsor mo naman yung lamesa namin.
Lagyan mo na lang ng ano mo, ng logo.
Diba?
Yeah, so that's how I met them and that's how I got exposed. I didn't know that Pinoy rock, indie rock was active in Los Angeles. The first band that I got to watch, except, aside from Locomotive, was Pedro Hill.
Okay, yeah, Pedro Hill.
Sarah, they were playing at Zen Sushi. And
So wait, time out.
Mhm.
Backtrack. Nung nagtuturo ka na sa Lasal, wala nang Beowulf.
Wala na.
Talaga nag-focus ka na sa career mo.
Yeah.
Pagdating mo sa Amerika, you got busy with building online resumes and websites.
Mhm.
And so, this is interesting. So Zen Sushi was more of like an epiphany moment na, uy, pwede
Yes.
pala to.
Because I already gave up on the band scene.
Yes.
Because I didn't know if there was a future
Right.
to the band scene. I had to be, quote unquote, serious about life and do away with childish things.
Aray ko.
Yeah, I know. That was the thinking that I had. Because the
Parang,
band...
ngayon pa lang sasabihin ko na siya, I'm very happy for you now. Like looking at you now, parang, okay. And then,
Yeah, so that's when I got exposed to Locomotive, and then Dennis, gave me the opportunity to help him out
right.
doing the website. And through the course of that, I was in every freaking Locomotive gig.
Galing.
I was backstage. I was with the band.
Yes.
And I was there with the people who fronted for Locomotive. That's how I got to know Don.
Oh.
That's how we got to know Don, because we were there at the album launch, the rock and roll death launch.
Anong banda ni Don nito?
Lazy Kill.
Okay.
Lazy Kill, kabanda niya si Ray. Dahilig. Dalawa sila. Silang dalawa sa kasi yung vocalista ng Lazy Kill, which is JP Sunga.
Okay. Oh, yeah, si JP. Yeah.
They were there nung nakilala ko sila.
Okay.
So, so I was still helping the band, but then I said, okay, so maybe pwede akong umextra. Pwede ako siguro makikanta, pwede akong makipalo, pwede akong makigitara.
So yung itch bumabalik ulit.
Yes, kasi nga parang nabuhay kasi I got to play music for almost 5 years in the Philippines. So there's that itch that still needs to be scratched. And I thought it was over. So parang nabuhayan.
Ang galing, no? Ang galing
Parang,
talaga, no?
Di ba, parang nagkaroon. So it's as you notice, it's a series of events.
Yeah.
Series of unrelated events that led to that particular instance.
Pero timing. Oh.
That's it. It's all about timing. Because if it happened 2 years earlier, I won't be here.
Okay, exactly.
Right? If I went to the United States in 1996 instead of 1997.
Or kung tinanggap ka ng LA Times, walang Pinoy Rock USA.
No. Well, maybe someone else would have started it, but it wouldn't be me. Right? So yun ang istorya nun. And that's how I met Don. That's how we started Beowulf again.
Beyond Beowulf. No, Beowulf pa rin.
It's still Beowulf. So we started that. And then after that, I got to meet Mike and the guys, and I went to New Day in August as well as Grand Fools Derby. After that,
paano naman pumasok ang Grand Fools Derby?
Grand Fools Derby, because again, marami ako nakilala mga banda. One of those bands.
Was there a shortage of keyboard players? Parang no?
Yes, because
hanggang ngayon feeling ko may shortage of keyboard players.
That's the thing, because if you want a new wave keyboardist, you need someone who has played new wave when they were growing up.
Yes.
Not just a young guy who tries to study new wave.
I will agree. I'll tell you why. Nung umalis si JJ Buen Camino sa intro voice, we had to find a keyboard player.
Yeah.
So we found this guy, si Art Pangilinan. Good guy. He plays guitars well. And then, marunong siya mag-piano. But piano is very different from keyboards.
Totally different. Yeah.
Very different from keyboards.
Yeah.
Because si JJ hindi siya pianista eh. Like, pag pinatugtog mo siya ng mga just ones, mga ganun-ganon, hindi. Pero pag pinatugtog mo siya ng synthesizer.
Oh God, yeah. It's a totally different skill.
Yes.
It's a totally different skill because pianists are not used to switching buttons.
Right.
They just used to playing.
That's
just,
it.
Maybe lalagyan nila ng strings.
Uh-huh.
Yan na.
Yeah.
But keyboardists, they have the multitasking ability.
At naghahanap ka ng spot kung saan ka tutugtog, di ba?
And you're trying to find the right sound for that particular song.
Spot. Yeah,
and
exactly.
pianists don't do that.
Correct.
They just stick with the piano, right? So that's why it's a different skill altogether. That's why when Grand Fools Derby was looking for a keyboardist, they said, well, technically JP, the bassist, was already their keyboardist. But again, it's JP wanted to concentrate on bass. That's why they had to ask me if I could play keyboards for one gig. And this was in Tribal Cafe.
Nagpakipot ka, hindi na?
Hindi na. I want to play, man.
Okay,
I want to play as much as possible.
When you were making money, bumili ka ba ng keyboard?
That's funny. That's funny. For the first 3 years that I was playing, I didn't have my own keyboard. Nangihiram ako kay Rex. Nangihiram ako kay JP.
Okay.
The keyboards that I was using were all borrowed. And they're all the same model.
Which is good. Okay.
Kaya the first keyboard that I ever bought was a $120 Yamaha.
Na may speakers?
May speakers, of course. Maliit yun. Naalala mo yung mic, di ba? That's why I was bragging that I'm the only keyboardist in LA who never uses keyboards more than $200. That was my bragging right. I always use keyboards with speakers.
Bakit?
Because that's the only thing I can afford.
Weh.
Yeah. God. Remember that I still don't have a paper here, right? I can't work and earn a good salary.
And you were doing freelance work.
Yeah, okay. I was waiting for the petition to
correct.
through. That's why I can't get a legal job.
Correct.
So like all the other Filipinos here, overstaying then. Diba? So we were just trying to make do with what we have. We were trying to, trying to get by.
Yes.
With what we were given. So going back to the keyboards, again, nangihiram lang ako.
Basta tumutunog. At least naman okay.
Sinasabi ko, nasa namimingir yan. Wala yan sa Pilipinger. Diba?
Alam mo, minsan magkakaroon tayo ng topic talaga dahil may mga gear or the tone is in the finger. Tinanong ko rin kay Dennis Diaz yun eh. When Dennis Diaz was here, di ba? Sabi ko, so, is the tone in the finger?
Well, no offense because, again, kahit kapag maganda ang gear mo, nasa kakayahan mo rin na i-utilize yung gear mo. Kaya malaki saludo ko kay Dennis Diaz kasi complicated yung gear na ginagamit niya pero he makes it work.
Right.
But going back to me.
Going back to you.
Going back to me.
Okay, so
kasi ako ang bida dito.
Correct. So beyond Beowulf, kinuha ka ni na JP.
Kinuha ko ni JP, then kinuha din ako ng New Day in August.
Sino na una?
God. You know, that's... Yeah, actually.
New Day.
Yeah, because they had Don. And I was close with Don.
Right.
And Don was the one who recruited me into the band.
Now, was it easy? Were they okay to you moonlighting with other bands?
Yeah, because it's the same sound. It's the same set. New Day in August and Grand Fools Derby are sister bands.
Okay.
They play pretty much the same
So hindi
music.
nagsasabay din ng...
Minsan magkasama pala, mas madalas nga kasama. This is Tribal Cafe.
Really? Okay,
This is Tribal Cafe, back to back lagi halos yan.
Okay.
Kaya madali. Kaya madaling mag-keyboards.
Hindi ka na nag-beep.
And sometimes I don't even have to learn new material kasi sometimes kapag hindi magkasabay ang gig, same songs. More to Lose is always part of it, so that's why we always play it.
Okay.
With a New Day in August, we always play The Cure, and with Grand Fools Derby, we always play Depeche Mode.
Got it. By the way, guys, I'm putting the links in the description below sa mga performances ng New Day in August where Tolitz Rosel, kanina siya si DJ Tulisan ngayon.
Wala na si DJ Tulisan.
Kasi we're talking about you as the artist now.
Okay.
So, si Tolitz Rosel is part of. Ganyan.
Okay.
Now, you're in a band. Wala pa yung papers mo.
Wala pa.
What was the goal of Tolitz?
My goal was just
Wala nang uwi to. I'm sorry. Wala na sa utak mo yung uuwi ka.
Wala na talaga.
Okay.
My goal was just to... What was my goal? My goal is just to stay and try to see what's gonna happen.
Kumbaga laban na.
Yeah, what's possible. Because I know na wala nang urungan eh. Kasi if I go back home, I'll never be able to get back.
Correct.
Kasi blacklisted na ako. Diba? And that's the only option I have. Just to stay, see what happens. And I have to admit, maraming mga Pilipino naghanap sila ng mapapangasawa para lang maging citizen.
Right. Ikaw hindi.
I know, I did that as well, but it didn't work. So anyway, so I tried to make do with what I have.
Right.
And try to see, let's see.
Was it humbling?
Yes, well, it's been humbling since the 4th year.
Wow.
Because you've been working at Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Correct.
You're an instructor at Las Aldas Marinas. You're being groomed as the Dean of Arts and Sciences.
Galing mo. You had to eat your pride din pala.
Yes. Kaya pagdating dito, that's why I wanted to go home. Because,
hirap, no?
Yeah.
To eat your pride.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's hard because you've been accustomed to all the potential,
right.
but you can't accomplish it because your hands are tied behind your back.
And it was tied for how long? Mga 4 na taon?
Well,
how long were your hands tied?
1997, and then I first met Locomotive in 2005.
Tagal. 8
8
years yun.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was supposed to be shorter, but again, the immigration was frozen during that time because of 9/11.
Correct. Oo nga, no? Doon nabuo yung Homeland Security and all that stuff.
Kaya I got caught up in that one.
So ako rin, yung papers ko got caught up in that one. Yung kay Jonathan Buencamino, mabilis. 3 months.
Wow, yun nga. It was supposed to be that fast.
Right? Yung sa akin, nagkaroon ng backlog because of 9/11 also.
Yes.
2001 ako dumating.
Kaya stuck. And so you have to make do. You have to wait until it loosens up again.
Correct. So finally, when you got your papers and everything, what was the first thing you did?
I got a job.
Legit job na to.
I got a legit job. I got a legit job at a wine store.
So lumayo, okay. Bumalik sa banda, lumayo sa media. Sa Pilipinas, lumayo sa banda, pumunta sa passion which is media.
Yes.
However, media and banda, pareho mong passion. So medyo okay. I'll take the wine store kung may banda.
Because that's the available one.
Wine store na.
It's the wine store. You can see, right? Okay. So that was the available one. Kasi actually kasama ko sa trabaho si Rodel.
Si Rodel.
Magkasama kami noon.
Okay.
So it was hard because you have to start from scratch. Because they don't know you as a teacher.
Correct.
They don't know you as a... It's not even related to media. I was a salesperson. I was an internet sales representative. Because I have background in the internet.
Correct.
So I was taking orders online. And then processing them and then shipping them out.
Ikaw lahat yun?
Yeah, that was my job.
Sino nagpapack? Ikaw rin, hindi?
Well, no, I send it to the packing and the shipping. So ako yung parang in charge of logistics as well.
Yes.
Things like that. So yun ang trabaho ko. First legit job is that. And then after that, I have to go to a company wherein I was making brochures for souvenir programs.
So pati desktop publishing pinasok mo na rin?
Desktop publishing in Mac. It was Mac. I had never used a Mac until then. And for 6-8 months, I was using a Mac.
Grabe.
Yeah, and then after that, I got into a design firm that was designing Facebook games.
Okay.
You see how different those businesses are?
Pero at least media-related.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah. So we were making, I don't know if you still know Cartown. Cartown, we were the ones who designed it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were designing that. And then my mom, who's been working with the county for a long time, asked me, why don't you work for the Los Angeles County?
To all of you uninitiated people listening to the podcast, hindi madali pumasok sa county. At pag nakapasok ka ron, you are set for life.
Yes.
Okay, so your mom said...
Okay, my mom said, you've been going through these jobs that you don't really like. Why don't you go into a job that you don't like, but you actually get something from it, right? Since you're going to the jobs that you don't like, why don't you just go on with it, but get some better benefits, right?
Oh my God.
So, and then
Hero.
I was in that Long Beach company where we were doing Facebook games. I was earning $90,000 a year.
Okay.
And then in the county, when I started, I was earning $49,000.
I heard.
$49,000.
Pero incremental naman yung increase, no?
Yeah, but it's humbling again because your lifestyle goes down the drain. You know, instead of you going to parties once a week, you'll be lucky if it's once every 2 months.
Exactly.
Right. So, but again,
single ganito no mga time na to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was in 2009, 2010.
So pumasok ka nga sa county.
Yes, I was.
Mahirap ba mag-apply sa county?
Well, the lucky thing is I have a diploma.
Yes.
In the county, unfortunately, they value diplomas more than experience. Sorry.
Okay.
So as long as you have a diploma, you'll get in.
And then maganda ron, continuing education, they pay for it pa.
Well, they pay part of it.
Part of it.
They finance it, yeah. So I worked for food stamps for 4 years, and then I switched to treasurer and tax collector. Worked as a probation under like a probate for 4 years, And then now I'm in the Department of Probation. So you can see how different those are, huh?
I mean, okay. So you go to work.
Yeah.
You go to work. And when you're at work, do you focus on work or do you think of what am I going to do after work?
That's a good question. I concentrate on the job.
Okay.
But there are times when talagang parang gusto ko na tumugtog, putang ina. Kailan ba susunod na gig, di ba? Ganyan.
Yes.
And these guys, they've been with me since my job in Long Beach. Because again, I started
these guys,
with them.
Michael.
Yeah, I started with them in 2007, 2008. And I was still in my old job before. And I started with the county 2009, 2010.
So totoo nga, doon ka na magre-retire sa county.
Yes. Yes. For those of you who are looking for jobs, if you can get your feet inside the county, you're set for life.
Exactly.
Good pension, good
everything. Good everything.
Yeah. So if you see openings, lacounty.gov. Pinromote eh.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
So now, Tolitz, ang question ko is, are you fulfilled?
No.
No, okay.
No, I'm not even close to being fulfilled.
Ang fulfillment will not, okay. You know what? I'm so excited for you because county just set you up for a sure ball, pay the bills.
Yes.
Kumbaga, basic necessities, sagot na ng county yan. And then itong Pinoy Rock USA, I think this is your baby,
Yes, it is.
Ito ang baby mo. We'll talk about it again after this break. And we're back. Mukhang nag-enjoy ang ating bisita, si Tolitz Rosel. Malapit na natin ulit palitan yung pangalan niya ng DJ Tulisan.
Yeah.
So okay, a while ago sinabi ko sa sarili ko na you're set with regard to security because of the position in the county. Is that a blessing considering na you can now do, you can nurture your baby, which is Pinoy Rock USA?
Yes, is exactly as you said. That gives me the freedom to not worry about the future anymore. Because once you're already set, your pension's already set. Your pension's already set.
Yes.
Your healthcare is already set.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about in the next 5 years you have to look for a new job.
Correct.
You don't have to worry about your pension being cut off.
Right.
Like Boeing.
Is your mom retired?
She's gonna be retiring next year, yeah.
So makikita mo na kung anong itsura ng retirement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just to give you an idea, once you're in the county for 25 years, your pension is 50 to 60% of your last salary.
For life.
For life.
Nice.
Plus 100% healthcare. So apply.
Nabanggit nga ni Jaja sa akin yun eh. Sabi niya magka-county siya. Sabi ko, naku, yun nga lang may pay cut nga.
Yeah. So okay. As you said, it freed me up to do other things.
Yes.
It freed me up to do the band because I don't have to worry about, as long as I do my job. That's the good thing about Filipinos. We do our job.
Masipag tayo sa ganun.
Yeah. Ginagawa natin ang trabaho natin. Kahit na alam natin na hindi tayo masisisante, ginagawa pa rin natin ang trabaho natin.
Yes.
Yun. So it freed me up to do other things. And, I think, should we go back to the story of Pinoy Rock USA?
Yes.
So I thought of Pinoy Rock USA, as I said, because of the pandemic.
Right.
I wanted to do something rather than play video games.
Fulfilling to, no?
Yeah, it is. Because this is my bucket list.
Sakali kita video games. Lumabas sa PS5, makakalimutan mo naman Pinoy Rock USA.
You're not lying. You're not lying, So, what was I saying? Yeah,
you want to do this habang may pandemic tayo?
Yeah. So,
instead of playing video games.
Yeah, instead of playing. So, this is my bucket list.
Yes.
Pinoy Rock USA is my bucket list because ever since I started taking AB communication, that's one of my dreams, becoming a broadcaster.
And ito na yun eh. May radio station ka na eh.
There is no other opportunity for me to do this than this.
Can you imagine? The guy who was knocking on other people's door and being rejected is now building an empire.
Well, that's a little optimistic, but yeah, sure.
Why not, diba? We have to be optimistic because,
Yeah.
I mean, hindi sa pagbubuhat ng bangko natin, pero you and me are part of a small group that indie bands in this area can be excited for.
Yes. And I want that feeling. I want them to feel it that way because
Ako rin.
kapag meron kang hope,
Yeah.
because it, most of the bands, this band, because they don't find any hope. Inisip nila, ano bang purpose nito? Bakit ba tayo tumutugtog pa rin?
Yes.
Hindi naman tayo binabayaran. Diba?
Hindi naman tayo makikilala.
Nga. So bakit natin ginagawa to? Wala naman makakakilala sa atin. I am trying to remove that fear because I felt that fear. Nanggaling na ako dyan eh. And for several, kaya madami akong banda. Because I want to keep moving.
Yes.
I don't want to stay with just one and then pag wala na yun, wala akong fallback.
Right.
And I want people to stay in their bands.
But how do you I'm gonna digress, but how do you reconcile the fact that one of the bands you're in, which has potential, is one of the laziest bands?
Well, that problem is systemic. So that problem has been in existence before I came in. So
hindi ka ba na-frustrate sa ganon?
Oh my God, Mike!
Ba't ba tinuturo si Mike? Show mo to.
No, because Mike,
this is your show.
My band member, Mike, the drummer of New Day in August, knows this. And I want the band to know this, that we've been having conversations before.
Right.
And the thing is, we were doing it in Viber. Viber pa noon.
Yeah.
Nagkakaroon kami ng Viber conversations. And every time there's planning being made in the band, ako ang nega.
Ikaw ang
Ako yung panggulo kasi lahat kunyari may nagsuggest, play tayo dito. Sasabihin isa, sige. Sige. Sasabihin ko, anong oras yan?
Okay.
Pang ilan tayo?
Right.
Tayo ba magdadala ng gamit natin? Anong tutugtugan
So, in other
natin?
words,
Gano'ng kahaba set natin?
Ikaw yung may hawak ng lighter na naglalagay sa sa maong.
I wanted more information.
Correct.
And then, kaya kapag magre-record na, so magtatanong ako, so kailan ang susunod natin recording? Then Mike said, up to you guys. Sige, ano tayo? Tugtugan tayo. So walang sasagot.
Na-experience ko yun.
Tapos sasagot din. Tapos sasabihin ko, so dali, ano yun na natin para masimulan na natin?
Yeah.
Sige, subukan natin Sabado. Sasagot yung isa. Sige, pwede siguro Sabado. Sige. Ako pa rin, hindi ako pwede Sabado eh. Meron kaming pupuntahin.
So hindi priority sa iba.
Yun nga, kaya I'm trying to, kaya si Mike ang kasi, I try to message him. Kasi I try to message the only other person who replies.
Which is Mike.
I don't talk to people who don't talk to me.
Correct.
Right? So I talked to him and I said, ano ba ang gagawin natin? Diba? Paano ba natin? Kumbaga parang, gusto ko nang ma-record to para matapos na to kasi excited na ako eh. Gusto ko nang eh.
And again, ang hirap when you're only as good as the least committed person in the band.
And I'm not saying that I'm the most I'm the supposed prime mover in the band kasi
but you are ready to move.
Yeah.
Yon.
Yeah, because Don and I are Johnny Come Latelys into the band. Right. Because the core is still Mike,
Rex.
Richie, and Rex, right? So we're the ones who are coming in and we want to contribute to the band.
Correct.
But we want the opportunity to contribute.
Of course.
So that's why we want it, I'm asking, excited ako eh. Gusto ko, kailangan susunod natin practice. Okay na ba yung keyboards? Kailangan ko bang ibahin yung keyboards? Diba? So, kaya inaano ko kasi madalas ko siya kasi even up to now, I bounce ideas off
yes.
him. It's kaya magandang kausap si Mike kasi he's an intelligent
and he responds.
Yeah.
Kumbaga action man yan eh.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, ang antithesis mo naman is dito sa Pinoy Rock USA, it keeps moving forward because you are not wala ka liability eh. Pag sinabi mong galaw, gagalaw.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, it's hard. It's hard because I run out of content often.
Really?
I run out of content because
Pinoy Pop USA.
Our next feature is Gary V.
Okay. Ito naman ang tanong. do you vet your artists? What are the criteria? If there's an artist listening now, I mean, what are the criteria to be featured on Pinoy Rock
It's funny
USA?
that you mentioned that. I mentioned that every time in my podcast. I said, as long as your song is understandable, as long as you could separate the music from the vocals, as long as your music is, as long as your music is music, I'll give you time of day. Right? So, that's my way of vetting. I tell them exactly what I'm looking for.
May sampung nagbigay ng ng demo nila. Paano mo?
I listen to them one by one.
Okay.
I listen to them one by one, and usually it's first come first serve. If I get this first, I like it. It gets featured tomorrow. If I like two pieces of music, both of them get featured one by one. My last Rockast had 6 artists.
Akala ba 3 lang ang natin?
Yeah, that's why I even mentioned it. For the first time, we're going to be featuring 6 artists because I can't decide which one to leave out.
Ang galing to.
Right? Godzilla, Happy Drive, Monologue, Stereo Deal, Judas. Those bands I featured. I'm missing one. I'm sorry if I forget because these are 6 bands. And kaya ko sila feature because, I could easily, what do you call this? Allocate. Like 2 bands each. But to me, if you listen to my Rockcast, there's always a theme. Sometimes, puro Tagalog.
Right.
Ko. Sometimes, if you listen to the lyrics or listen to the title, may theme.
So kinukurate mo ng ganon.
Yes, that's how I do it. Because I want people who are listening to the Rockcast to treat it as storytelling.
Got it.
So that's why I always preface it with something that's related to it, and then end it with something that's related to the bands that I played. It's a story. It's a long 30-minute to 40-minute story.
Now, when you make this, tanda mo, Thursday ka nagsisimula di ba? Cramming time to.
That's the most difficult time. I record the Rockcast on a Sunday, and it gets released on a Sunday.
Got it.
I write the outline
on a Thursday
midnight or Thursday 11 o'clock, and it takes me 6 to 8 hours to figure out what the outline is.
Yun.
That's the hardest part.
So yun ang weekend mo.
Yeah, that's my weekend. This is a full-time job during weekends.
Galing.
Because it's passion.
Ano na love life mo nito?
Well, it's weekend. So, may sarili-sarili mga gala naman sila. So, one thing about it is, kasi yung pamilya ko naman, they like K-pop. They like pop. I can't really compete with that, right?
Pinoy, K-pop, USA.
Yeah. Annyeonghaseyo! Yeah, so it's it's a curse and it's a
blessing and a curse.
A blessing and a curse because they have their own likes. That's why they don't interfere. But again, they can't appreciate what I'm broadcasting.
Who's with you sa bahay?
2 kids, my wife, and because my mom had a heart condition, my mom.
So ngayon, what are the music that is being played at home?
Opa! No,
I would assume from the kids yung opa, di ba?
If I started Pinoy Pop USA, they will, I'll have a captive audience. Is all I can say.
I think you will, yeah.
Yeah, I have a captive audience, but I just can't really. I could only do pop if it's 80s OPM, but anything else, no.
So that's which is good in itself. At least meron kang meron kang box, meron kang sandbox na doon maglalaro. Now, would you open the gates to indie bands from the Philippines?
Yes, and I already did.
You already did?
I already did because of our...
But who takes precedence?
First come, first serve.
Okay, may dalawa kang bigyan kita hypothetical. Sabay, USA indie band, Pinoy indie band, sabay nag-submit.
There's a reason why I featured 6 bands.
Pareho sila.
3 US, 2 Filipino, and the last one is US.
So what's the goal?
The goal is to promote the fuck out of everyone. Doesn't matter doesn't matter where you came from. I mean, I actually, Don Morales already referred me to a band from Canada, Trigger X. I'm gonna be featuring them next.
Alam mo, may naiisip ako. Isipin mo to And guys, isipin nyo rin kasama namin dalawa. When Glenn Jacinto was here, and Glenn Jacinto of the Teeth, actually Glenn Jacinto of Teeth, ayaw niya na that teeth.
No duh.
Yeah. Kasi that tooth yun.
That's true.
Okay, Glenn Jacinto of Teeth, meron siyang Laklak Fest.
Yeah, we participated on that.
So kami ni na Mike, we were talking about, ni na Mike Abad, ni na Glenn Jacinto, ni na JJ, we were talking, papuntahin ang mga artist ng Laklak Fest sa Pacos Place.
Okay.
To perform and record their performances like what New Day in August did.
Okay.
Right? Now meron na silang demo or meron na silang material na pwede nilang ibigay sa Pinoy Rock USA to be on rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the
Yes.
grand scheme of everything? Meron na kayong festival via Glenn Jacinto. Meron kayong music video or whatever. And then meron silang EPK at saka radio exposure.
That's great, but you know what my dream is?
What's your dream?
To accumulate enough bands so that when I go to the States, I can hold a Pinoy Rock USA concert.
Exactly.
With the bands that are featured.
Parang ano ginagawa ng ano yung K-Rock na concert?
I don't.
What is it? Di ba meron silang annual concert na parang
the K-Rock concert. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. meron silang concert na, yes, why not, right? Why not?
Because that way, you could promote a concert that's not going to cost $75 to get a ticket.
Or maybe it should.
Well, no. Because that's the price. Again, you have to look into the psyche of the Filipino, right? If it's from the Philippines, they're going to pay, if Gabi Concepcion was doing a lip sync, they're going to pay $125.
But we have to change it.
Listen to it.
I think we have to change it.
I know we have to change it, but it has to be a gradual change. You can't just, it can't be a culture shock.
Right.
You have to gradually change it. You have to make sure that the people are used to doing that before you go.
Kumbaga parang tikman mo muna.
Yes.
Pag nag-enjoy ka, hindi na ganyan ang presyo niya next year.
Yeah. This year, $25. Next year, $35. The following year, $50.
Pataas.
And they won't feel it because there's going to be value.
Kumbaga, na-enjoy na nila eh.
Yeah, because these bands are going to keep growing year after year. They're going to develop a following. They're going to develop a fan base.
Right.
And the fan base itself is going to be selling and going to be marketing that band. They're the ones who are going to be selling the tickets.
I hope you bands are listening to this because we can only talk about this so much. Pero kung hindi nyo ibibigay yung material ninyo, kung hindi natin tutulungan tong community na to, pupulutin tayo lahat sa kangkungan, guys.
Yeah, because, no offense, I love these bands. You can't just keep paying, again, no offense, wala akong ano kasi I love Happy Box. I love all the other promoters. You can't just keep paying $50 to $75 to $85 to have Parokya ni Edgar, Kamikaze, or Up Dharma Down, UDD, to keep coming here. It's good to have them here, but you have to make sure that when other local bands are playing, you participate as well and you pay price of admission.
Alam mo, dadagdagan ko yung pangarap mo. Coming from the other side of the spectrum, no? I would love to see the day, and again, no offense to the Parokyas, to the Kamikazes, to the River Mayas and all that. I would love to see the day when these bands will be begging to want to be flown to the States to be part of this event.
Exactly.
Please.
That's the dream, yeah.
Kahit $1,000 lang, please. Makatugtog lang kami sa event na yun. Because, I'll tell you why. These big bands in the Philippines, ayaw mo sa Coachella yan. Kahit walang bayad na tutugtog sa Coachella yan.
Yes, exactly. It's the value. It's not really the money, it's the value.
Yeah.
And the other dream that I have is for the Philippines to ask the bands here to play there.
Yeah.
To have a festival, a Phil-Am festival, promoting, we have a band from the United States, New Day in August, who just released 5 albums.
Right. Actually, you wouldn't have to say that, you know why? Because the Philippines will now know that they're New Day in August.
Mm-hmm.
Dahil nakilala na because of what you're doing.
Yeah. So things like that. It has to be a mutual thing. Kasi the United States supports Philippine artists. When they come here, we pay, we watch, we clap, we cheer.
Yes.
Right? I want it so that it could be the other way around. So that the Filipinos who go to, not just the Philippines, people who go to Australia, people who go to Europe, people who go to Canada, they get the same reception.
Yeah.
They get treated like the rock stars that they are.
Speaking of Canada, have you tapped into...
As I said, Trigger X. I'm going to be featuring them very soon. They're a band. J. Kitosh Manuel is a drummer. He's a drummer.
Kaibigan ko yun.
He's a band.
Trigger X pala siya, si Kitosh.
So they got referred to me by Don. Don has been actually begging, why don't you feature Canada? Okay. So kasi sinasabi niya, una po pinicture ang Pilipinas ito Canada, nasa taas lang natin eh.
Correct.
So I want to feature, not just Canada, if there are bands in Australia, I know there are bands in Europe.
Oh, New Zealand, Europe,
I want all of those in Pinoy Rock USA. I
hope you guys are listening talaga. And
I know it says Pinoy Rock USA, but initially I wanted the USA to stand for the bands. But now I just want it to stand for the location of the site.
Which is, I think, more practical, no?
Yeah, so it means that it's open to everyone.
And we're based in the USA.
We're based in the USA, but we feature everyone. That's my new mission for Pinoy Rock USA. So I started small, but I'm expanding. So which is the plan.
Galing. Where can we see this happening after the pandemic? Where can we see this going after the pandemic? Because right now, guys, puro negative kami rito, but we're still in the pandemic season while we're taping.
It is, yeah. Well, the pandemic is not going to last forever. I mean, it could last 2 more months. It could last 2 more years.
Right.
But it's going to end.
Correct.
In the
Pero
meantime, you take advantage. The things, because I can't do these things if there was no pandemic. I won't have the time.
Are you taking in interns, apprentices? Are you taking in those type of staff nowadays?
What do you mean?
Interns or apprentice?
No, it's still
Would you be?
I could, yeah, if they want to.
Ayun,
if
guys,
they know what's in store for it, because again, this is a
labor of love.
Yeah, this is a labor of love. So obviously, I don't even have an LLC. All right, so this is like pretty much personal stuff right now. I'm just trying to see how far it could go.
It's going far, baby.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to go how far it could go and how far if it would explode. And then I'll go to that next step.
Nagtataka ka pa if it would explode. I think it's exploding. Nakita mo na ba kung 4 months, nakita mo ba yung ilan na followers mo sa Facebook? Nakita mo na ba kung ilan na ang listeners mo sa Spotify?
Yeah.
Are you checking?
No, well, listeners in Spotify has increased steadily.
Oh,
I think the first month there were only like 12 to 15. And now I think it's up to 75, 76. See? Yeah, so... But I want it to be more.
It will be more.
I want it to be more. I want it to hit critical mass because I don't want to be premature. I don't want to plan things. I don't want to pretend that I already made it when I haven't. I want it to hit critical mass.
I think before you hit critical mass, I think you need to staff up with your curators and other people because once you hit critical mass at isa ka lang, yung law of diminishing return mo ang tulid-tulid yan.
That is true, yeah. But again, I'm a greenhorn. 4 months pa lang ako nagano, so I learned stuff along the way.
But you have our support.
So what you said, you as a mentor, I would take that into consideration, of course.
My God, as in we are all rooting for you. And the reason why me and I guess all of us should be rooting for this is because anybody could have done the talk pero he did. He did what everybody, including myself, have been thinking about. You actually stuck with the name. Ang ganda-ganda ng pangalan.
I was lucky because I registered it in 2010.
Ang ganda-ganda ng pangalan. It's very in your face. Love the shirt. Please buy the merchandise.
As well, buy on promotions.
Oh my God, di ba? Parang ang ganda. I don't know how else to put it. Now, what legacy would you want to leave? Are you still going to be Tolitz Rosel, the musician? Or is Tolitz Rosel slowly gonna diminish and si DJ Tulisan will...
Well, Tolitz the musician is already, is a...
Feeling mo, oh no, be careful.
No, because...
Tolitz Rosel the musician is already what?
Well, I'm 47 years old. And one of my bucket lists is already fulfilled, which is releasing my own music.
Okay.
And having it promoted.
Okay.
And having it heard. right?
So medyo tumapboard na si Tolitz Rosel.
Yeah, because right now, I can, sometimes you have to be realistic. I can still play, but not like before. I mean, I sing, but I'm not going to be able to sing like I used to.
Right.
I'm not, even how I look, it's not going to be frontman material 5 to 10 years from now. So you have to adjust. You have to make do with what you have, with what you're given. Diba? You can't keep sticking with what you've gotten used to. You have to adjust. You have to adapt. You have to evolve.
Alam mo, come to think of it, feeling ko kinakausap mo rin ako eh. Because iniisip ko, is Paco Arespacochaga the drummer hanging up the drumsticks and doing this full time? You know what I mean?
Well, there have been several musicians who evolved from being musicians to becoming promoters, to becoming producers. Right? So there's no end. You can still stick with music. You just have to move on.
So, but then again, you have two personalities. So, ang tanong dito is, ano mangyayari kay Tolitz Rosel? Is he going to give way to DJ Tulisan?
DJ Tulisan is, maybe 2-3 years from now, DJ Tulisan is gonna be in the sideline and be replaced by
your DJs,
by DJ Emperador or something. So
ikaw pa rin yun? O mag-hire ka na? Mag-hire ka na?
No.
Well, yung Emperador daw, guys.
Emperador.
May MP ba tayo? May MP ba tayo dyan?
Or DJ ESQ, right? Or DJ Latondenya. Right? So there might be other people who could do it, and I hope there are other people.
Diba?
I don't want DJ. Smart, strange as it to accept. I don't want DJ Tulisan to last past 2021.
Seryoso?
Yeah. I want him to be, referenced. I want him to be like, a special guest from time to time, but I don't want him to continue.
So magbe-behind the scenes ka na lang after this.
Because, again, once the pandemic ends, I'm not going to have as much time. So I have to transition. I'm taking advantage of the time I'm given right now.
Yeah.
Trying to develop the name, trying to develop the gravitas, so to speak, right? So that other people who want to do it can be either inspired or imitate what I'm doing and come up with their own personality and develop their own brand. That's my because I know my time is limited. No, I'm not talking about my life, but I know, I'm talking about my time as DJ Tulisan because, again, after this pandemic ends, DJ Tulisan is going to be lucky to have one podcast per month.
Wow.
Because work is going to be killer.
Crazy.
Because I'm working from home sometimes, and those are the times when I could segue, answer emails, write some articles, post on the Facebook page, post on the site. I can't do that if I'm 8 to 9 hours at work. Yeah. And the reception is bad, so I can't do it on my cell phone either. So that's why I'm doing DJ Tulisan for as far as I can go with it. It's not going to be permanent. It's not going to be Joe DeMango, who's going to be like a legendary name for several years. So that's my objective. If it goes past 2 years, why not?
Correct.
But I'm prepared if it disappears. It's part of my plan. But that's why I'm just doing. That's why it's hectic. I'm doing everything as if it's gonna end next week. That's why I get stressed if they have no content. Because I want people to always look forward to Fridays for weekly spotlight. I want them to look forward to Sundays for the Rockcast, and I want them to just look forward to the radio rotation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Medyo i-digest ko muna yun. But we'll be back after this word from our sponsors. Tolitz? Kaya pa? Kaya pa. Parang konti niyan.
Sabog guys na siyang pushang ina.
And we're back with Tolitz Rosel from New Day in August and DJ Tulisan from Pinoy Rock USA.
Kaya! Sino matapang, ha?
Sana guys, if you're listening,
matapang ka?
if you're listening to us on Spotify, I suggest you watch us on YouTube all the way to the end. We'd like to thank Stella for coming. Oban. Si JJ, tawa ng tawa.
Yeah.
Okay. Ano advice ang pwede mo? Ngayon pa kita iyan ng advice. Guys, props lang po namin to. Matino pa ho kami ha. Baka mamaya matakot kayo, hindi nyo pakinggan yung advice ni DJ Tulisan. So Tolitz, anong advice na mabibigay mo sa mga bagong banda? Are they supposed to be excited or are they supposed to be jaded? Yeah.
Well, why did you form the band?
Okay.
Why do you want to be a band?
These are the questions they need to answer for themselves, right?
Yeah, these are the questions. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just want you to to answer these questions. Why did you form the band? When you thought about forming the band, what did you want to happen?
Uh-huh.
Where do you want it to happen? How long do you want it to happen? And when do you want it to happen? Those are the questions. Because after you answer those questions, you'll find out where the band is going to be going. Because if you form the band just to, for impure reasons.
And when you say impure reasons, ano ibig sabihin?
Money. If you form the band.
Or kasikatan lang. Wala, magpasikat lang.
Gusto mo lang makakuha ng chicks.
Yes.
O kaya gusto mo lang magpasikat. O gusto mo lang, gusto mo lang buhatin ang sarili mong bangko.
Correct.
Then, these reasons are not gonna be your reasons for success. Kailangan talaga, you form the band to make music. You form the band to expose your music and let everyone enjoy your music. Because the band is not there to earn money. You know better than I do, indie bands don't earn anything. Indie bands, sila pang ginagastusan. Yun pa kailangan may mga gumagastos sa kanila.
I know.
Kasi, so that's why you can't do it with money. And you can't do it para magpasikat. As you know, if you've been an indie band, swerte ka kung may makakuha ka ng mga 10 to 20 listens sa YouTube mo. Kung di mo pinopromote, di ba? Kahit na anong galing mo, mong kumanta, kahit na unless may kakilala ka. Swerte ka kung makabreak ka ng 1,000 views sa YouTube mo. Swerte ka kung makakuha ka ng more than 1,000 listens.
Ang New Day in August looking back, nakalagpas 1,000?
Kasi magaling kami.
Okay. I would agree.
And we've given our dues.
And you've answered those questions yourselves.
Yeah, because we've been a band. That's why I think I remember what Joseph Bayan said in his podcast with you. Hanga siya sa Intervoice because you've been together for several years.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why you formed the band. It's not just for the music, it's for the companionship.
Yep.
That's another reason why New Day in August, despite several disbands that happened throughout the years,
kayo pa rin.
We're still together.
Yeah.
And we're still making music and we're still hopefully getting our third EP out.
Hindi, tsaka nakakatawa kayo eh. Meron kayong sarili nyong Zoom conversations also.
Exactly.
Kahit di kayo tumutugtog, nag-uusap-usap pa rin kayo.
It's actually ironic because when you told us that the song Looking Back was out, we didn't assemble just to listen to it. We were already there. And then we found out about it. Right, Mike? We were already talking to each other. And then, nag-release ng video si Paco.
So sabay-sabay na.
Panoorin natin. So nagkaroon kami ng viewing party on the spot. We were already together. So kahit na may mga misunderstanding kayo, the music holds you together.
Ang ganda nun.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, so that's why kahit na may mga misunderstandings kayo, kahit na may mga ego, kahit na may palitan kayo sa banda, as long as your music continues, that's the reason why you formed the band, because of the music.
Paano yung mga away-away? How do you resolve it?
Away?
Anong advice ang pwede mo bigay sa mga...
Depende kung anong pinagawayan nyo. Kung babae pinagawayan nyo.
Mahirap yun.
Mahirap talaga yun. Ngayon, yung away, there has to be that person who gives in. Kasi... Ito
yung sinasabi mo, hindi pwedeng pride.
Hindi pwede. Kasi...
Ego.
Yeah, kasi yung mga banda, as you know, lahat ng mga popular na banda dati nag-disband because no one wanted to compromise.
Right.
You know, lahat ng mga successful bands na nagtagal sila, they have legendary quarrels, pero laging nasosolve for some reason. That's because someone compromises. Someone remembers why they formed the band. Someone remembers the music. Diba?
Yeah.
So yun lang naman ang just play a band for the music. If you form the band to earn money,
maghanap ka na lang ng trabaho.
show band. Mag-show band ka na lang.
Yeah.
Don't do your own compositions.
Ikaw, do you have anything against?
Just cover.
Do you have anything against show band?
No, I'm part of a show band in Jerry's Grill.
Okay.
You know, I know there are reasons you play because of the music. You know, but if you want to earn money, either you get serious about your music, about your originals, or you form a show band. That's
either way is good, di ba?
Either way is good. You're still playing music. Again, I said the music is paramount.
Correct.
As long as you enjoy the music. Isa sa mga I joined the cover band wherein they were playing 60s and 70s music.
Anong banda to?
Do I need to mention it?
Okay.
Okay. No, I won't mention it because but they were playing 60s and 70s music and I only lasted 2 gigs. Because I can't grasp the songs. I don't like. Well, it's not that I don't like. I can't feel the songs.
Again, parang pagpipiti mo yan. Hindi mo.
No way, man. No way. I mean, kung todo-todo ang tutugtugin ko, I'll refer it to someone who likes the song.
Right.
It's no offense against the song, but we all have our own preferences. So, pag nag-show band ka, make sure that you like the songs that you play.
All in. Dapat all in ka.
Yeah, because the audience, even though they're dancing, they're gonna see it on stage. If you're dancing to the song, they'll know, oh, you love this song also, right?
Nag-feed ang energy nyo sa isa't isa.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so it applies with show bands as well. I have a lot of respect for show bands because they actually have harder homework. They have to play 3 to 4 sets.
Right.
Every night. Playing other people's songs.
Isipin mo, no? Tapos, uuwi ka, ikaw ang huling uuwi.
Yeah.
Normally, yung third set mo, wala na masyadong tao.
Ganun nga. So, and most of the time, matitigil pa yung set mo kasi gusto may magpatugtog ng laptop nila, yung mga gusto nila mga kanta, di ba?
Yeah.
So, there are some trials and tribulations with being show bands as well, but it's still playing music. So, as long as you like the music you're playing, it goes with any other band. As long as you like what you're playing, then you're doing a good thing. Then you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Pag napipilitan ka lang, parang ka naman tanga, di ba? Tutugtog ka ng mga songs na hindi mo gusto, di ba? Huwag kang tanga. Huwag kang
know what, ang galing eh. When you say wag kang tanga, you're not just saying it because you're saying it based on experience.
Yes.
Because, again, I go back to your PT, com arts. After a while, you caught yourself and pinili mong hindi maging tanga.
Yes.
Ano to, tatapusin ko to, and then what? And they all fulfilled and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So, kapag ayaw mo sa isang bagay, if you think may pag-asa pa, ituloy mo. Pero, if you think na walang patutunguhan, ba't naman tutuloy, di ba? Ganun lang naman yun. It's common sense.
Yeah, the same way, alam mo lahat ng sinasabi mo, para lang mag-grasp nyo, lahat ng sinasabi mo, tugma. Kasi again, yung wag kang tanga advice is true. Right? Don't do anything na hindi ka naman magiging fulfilled. Tapos, magsa-struggle ka. And then at the same time, pag-advise mo na gusto mo kumita ng pera sa musician, mag-show band ka, that's the county.
Yes, exactly.
Diba?
Exactly, yeah, pasok.
That's the county. And then you can do your thing. Basta secure yung pamilya mo, may okay na yan. And
yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected. What you do in your real life.
Totoo. Totoo, tama.
Yeah, what you do in your real life reflects on what you do in music. So, wag mo isipin na hindi nakikita ng mga tao yun. Kasi ako, kapag nanonood ako ng mga banda, nakikita ko kung hindi magkasundo yung banda, kung hindi nila gusto yung tinutugtog nila, kung hindi nila nagugustuhan yung gig mismo na tinutugtugan nila, kitang-kita yon. Kahit nasa tingin mo, madali naman ako mag-hide eh. Hindi, transparent yun because music is honest.
Hindi kaya mo nakikita to dahil because you are, as a journalist, And as a writer, you're very inquisitive at very observant ka. Kaya,
Well, that's part of, it's part of the territory. I could give this advice because I'm observant. I won't give this advice if I'm just pretending to be observant. That'll be arrogant, right? So I'm giving this because of experiences. I might sound arrogant, but treat me as your kuya. Sinasabi ko sa inyo kasi naranasan ko ito bago kayo.
Yeah.
So ito, based on experience ito, I could proudly say that I played almost all parts of a band and did all sorts of jobs in the United States as well. So I have, I could give a little insight into what's actually happening. Diba? So not just with the band, especially with the band actually. Pag hindi kayo magkasundo, make sure na isipin niyo kung gusto niyo pa rin maging banda. Huwag niyo pagtagalin.
Hirap, no?
Yeah, mahirap talaga yun. Kasi you want to stick together, you think you have potential. If you think you have potential, then you already answered your own question. You want it to continue. Right?
Suck it up.
Yeah, suck it up. Makipagbati ka kung sino man nakaaway mo. Kung yung kaaway mo ayaw, palitan mo.
Yeah.
Just make sure that the music continues. Kasi if the music can't continue, then you can't continue. Tigil mo na lang. Diba? Sayang lang ang pera, sayang lang ang jamming money.
Speaking of tigil mo na lang, ikaw ba sinasabi mo na, like binanggit mo, pag tapos ng pandemic at bumalik ka sa 9 to 5, mahirapan ka na with regard to schedule, family work, and Pinoy Rock USA, are you entertaining the thought that
I'll retire?
Yeah.
No. Because I've been playing a band even when I was working.
Okay. You'll find a way, in other words.
I'll find a way, but it's just not going to be the same as right now. I can't do weekly podcasts every Sunday because I'm going to be too fucking tired.
Correct.
On a Sunday. If you're working Monday to Friday, you're going to be too tired. You just want to take advantage of your whole weekend.
Yeah. At the same time, I mean, again, like if you were listening early on, hindi to on-off switch na akala mo nandun na. You have to marinate every episode.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Tinitimpla mo yung bawat episode na hindi to microwave, right?
No. And anyone who wants to attempt the same thing, make sure that you plan. Wag kang biglang papasok. Like for example, I've been asked why I don't do video podcasts, why I don't do daily podcasts, right? So another thing, one thing is I don't know much about video podcasts yet. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I don't know if I have paano mo ba tatagal?
The audacity.
Hindi ko malaman kung may kapal na mukha akong ipakita ang mukha ko every episode sa YouTube.
Bakit naman hindi?
Diba? So yung tipong nagsasalita ka, tapos meron kang outline, tapos binabasa mo yung outline. Hindi mo malaman kung kaya mo yun. Tapos di ko alam kung I could be extemporaneous enough.
Alam mo, nagiging self-critical ka na naman eh.
Well, no. Because I'm speaking from experience. I'm trying to criticize myself.
Ayun na nga.
So that, no. I'm trying to pre-qualify myself. I'm trying to pre-qualify myself so that other people don't have to.
Okay.
So just try to swallow, try to eat what you can swallow. What you can chew, yes, true. So, again, hindi ako gumagawa ng video podcast because first, hindi ko alam kung paano, and second, I don't know if I want to do it.
And daily commitment kasi yun.
And daily commitment, oh my God, daily. I mean, I can't even count the times when I almost never got to do a rockcast.
Don't you, yun na next day tatanong kasi, alam mo yung feeling na this Sunday has to, yung mga parang,
and it already happened once.
Oh, nung birthday
ko, I only use it as a
tawa
reason.
Tawa ako ng tawa talaga.
I only used it as a reason, but I said, okay, I can't stop now, so I just made a 5-minute one. Para lang may output ako. But I really didn't want to do it. I was tired. Purgang-purga ako kasi nagluto misis ko na napakasarap na kaya di man lang ako makabangon eh. Talagang busog na busog ako. Hindi ako makaano. Siguro puro dighay ang magiging
yan mga conversation namin minsan. What's for lunch?
Yun nga, ganun na, di ba? So yun nga. So just do what you can do and plan. Plan again. The planning starts with what do you want to broadcast? What's your plan? What's your objective? Hindi yung biglang, hindi yung makikitrending ka lang kasi lahat nagbi-video podcast, gusto mo rin mag-video podcast.
Amen.
Di ba? Hindi lahat yung dahil nagbe-daily podcast sila o meron silang may mga joke corner, gagawin mo na rin yun. So, don't imitate other people. Do what you want to do. If it happens to be the same as other people's, then so be it, right? But at least it's yours, right? You're not imitating someone. So for me, I'm satisfied right now, as of now. I'm satisfied with weekly rockcasts. I'm not conducive to video podcasts, but my objective is always to present a new band every rockcast. I want to expose. I want to have people listen to a band that could otherwise have remained anonymous.
Anonymous, yeah.
Right? Because that happens to a lot of bands. Again, I go back to Marvin's brother, Lost Poetics. They're an awesome band. You should check them out on Spotify. They're on Spotify. Lost Poetics is a great band. It didn't have enough people who were listening to it because Chicago is not the mecca of Philippine rock, right? So, na-ignore sila. Could have been a good second album or good third album. You know, they could have been playing live. They could have been fronting or being the main act.
Yun.
Be the main act for some gigs. But they couldn't because there was no support. And there was no support because people didn't know about them. And that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Would you consider yourself an aggregator also?
I started out as an aggregator. I think the first 2 or 3 weeks that I was at Pinoy Rock USA, I was an aggregator. I was looking for Pinoy music-related sites and I was posting on the site. Okay, post ako. But when I started doing the Rockcast, I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Because just... You can't imagine, especially for someone who's just starting out, how hard it is to prepare a rocket.
True, of course,
even this podcast, it's hard to plan it.
Like this, I'll if I can interject lang, para lang makita ng mga tao. This is a 2-hour podcast. Ako mag-edit nito. Which means I will have to spend more than 2 hours just watching it again.
Exactly, yeah. Madugo to.
Yeah. And all that, yeah.
Because if it's a 2-hour podcast, you have to watch it for 2 hours just to detect any mistakes. And then after you watch it for again, 2 hours, you have to go back again for the 2 hours to do the actual edits.
Yep.
And then watch it again for another 2 or 1.5 hours after the edits. To see if tama na yun. Yeah. So, by that time, sawan-sawa na siya sa boses ko. Di ba?
Tapos may upload pa. Kaya kudos to you, Michael Abad. Kasi si Michael Abad ang gumagawa ng highlight reel natin ngayon.
Siya ba?
Dati ako lahat
Nice.
Tapos itong si Michael.
Kudos, Mike, yeah.
Wala pa bang highlight reel? Wala pa bang, Mike, ako lang. So he bought a PC. And then...
a PC. Personal computer. Yeah. Intel i7.
I know. Well, anyway... Thank you. I just want to say thank you for all the insights. Nakakatuwa naman talaga.
And may I say just, I know that we're trying our best to promote it, but I have a lot of respect for Pacos Place.
Thank
because
you.
Again, you were the inspiration. One of the inspirations for doing Pinoy Rock USA. And what you're doing is actually, it's invaluable.
Thank you.
To especially the local acts here. Because again, we need to provide more efforts in promoting our local acts here.
Yes. And you know what, like what you're doing, again, sobrang excited ako. Sana there are more of us, di ba? Yung pinag-usapan natin earlier during the first gap. If there were more of us, oh my God, tuwa mga banda.
Yeah, imagine if there were like at least 2 of us in every city.
Or city, not state.
Every city, yeah. City. Not state, city. Like for example, there's 2. I know, Shikes, I'm gonna push you. I know you're planning to do a podcast. Please continue.
Si Marvin,
please do it.
Si Marvin bumili na ng gamit.
Si Marvin, do it, man.
Yan, yeah.
You don't have to talk non-stop. Pwede mong i-edit. Kaya okay lang.
Yeah.
So as long as there are people like us who, we may not be the best ones, but we are the ones who are willing.
Ika nga, we are trailblazing. Yung term ni Michael Abad, yun. Kumbaga, dire-diretso lang. And kudos din sa mga Zoom podcasters ngayon sa social media.
Yeah. Those collabs, those collaboration videos, malaking tulong yun.
Yeah,
because it continues the path of music. Alam ng mga tao na, it doesn't matter if it's an original or a cover, as long as alam nila na nagpapatuloy yung music, alam nila na active yung scene. na hindi namatay sa COVID yung mga yung mga members ng band, di ba? So again, that's why I salute Pacos Place. I salute Bayan Promotions as well. I have a lot of respect for Bayan Promotions because they're doing pretty much the same thing as same thing. They're promoting acts that would have been otherwise ignored. They're doing it one up because they're doing live performances. They're doing interviews. They're doing latest news. So salute to Joseph Bayan on that one. And then there are other and then the sites, the Facebook pages that are promoting or spreading the news. Like a PNW, like a Pinoy Connect.
Yes.
Like
PNW, yung kay Marvin.
Yeah, kay
And
Marvin.
tayo rin, let's make it a habit, di ba? Like, guys, 2 click lang. Nakatulong ka na.
Yes.
Nakatulong ka na sa platform. You know what? Like, every time, ikaw tinatag mo ko. I appreciate that, no? But just to let you know, whether you tag me or not, I will share it. I hope, kumbaga, hindi na pinag-uusapan yun eh. Minsan nakakalungkot na si Ferds nag-post, nakita mo ba yung post niya na kung makahirit kang
yung mga kilala mo, yung mga kamag-anak mo na eh.
Naghihirit na i-share mo to, sumali ka sa group ko dito sa social media. Pero pag in-audit mo, wala man lang silang natutulong sa'yo and all that stuff.
That's
diba?
where doon mo makikilala kung sino talaga yung mga sumusuporta sa'yo.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to cut ties.
No.
You just have to minimize it. Diba? Yun lang naman eh. No matter how annoyed you are with a person, don't burn your bridges.
Nope.
No, don't burn your bridges. Kahit na sabihin nilang, fuck, your music sucks, man. Don't, well, you have the option to unfriend. You have the desire to unfriend. But just.
Kasi cancel culture territory.
Yeah, yun nga, ganun eh. So, just be successful and then just let them reap.
Yan.
Make sure that they see your page and see how you're slowly becoming successful because, again, success is the best revenge, they say.
Yeah.
Right? So, yun lang naman eh. So, again, lahat ng mga gusto mag-attempt, plan, execute, and make sure that you stay the course. Kung ano yung goal mo, make sure that you accomplish it. Don't stop halfway. And make sure that be realistic as well. Don't start a podcast or a radio station thinking that you're gonna be the #1 radio station in Southern California. Fuck, no way, man.
Teka, okay lang yun. Pero mo isipin tomorrow you will be.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Don't pretend that you're gonna be overnight sensation.
Yeah. Kasi I'm rooting for Pinoy Rock USA talaga to be the #1.
Well, let's be realistic. It's targeted and it's a cultural target.
Di ba? Kasi pwede ko sabihin like Intro Voice is the #1 OPM band in North America, which is true because we're the only one.
Well, that's true though.
Kasi we're the only one.
That's maybe true.
So ang Pinoy Rock USA right now is the only one, di ba? Of this format. Kaya
yeah. I'm not saying that Pinoy Rock USA is the only site.
No.
The only site that promotes local talent because I know of other sites, but they are either in other cities or in other states. And I haven't reached out to them yet because again, I want to make sure that when I do reach out to them, they're going to have an easier time accepting me since there's already value.
Right.
That's what I've been doing in the last few months, building value and trying to make sure that I have a collection of Pinoy local talents. I've actually been planning to put together a collage video of all the bands that I've featured.
Galing.
And use that as promotion material. Kasi mas madali ka makakuha ng tao kapag kunyari, first band was Kali 143, followed by Monumental by Far, followed by this band, followed by this band, followed by this band.
Parang, uy, di ba?
Oh, so before they tell that's fucking 20 bands, man.
Wow.
In a span of 5 months.
Yep.
This is serious, right? And then there's samples of their music, right? There's samples of the music accompanying how they're, like a regular ad, right? And it could be just a 5-minute spot. And it could do wonders. But
shareable pa. You do that. You do that.
But I need more. I don't hindi dahil sa sawa ako sa West Coast bands, but this is Pinoy Rock USA, not Pinoy Rock West Coast.
Guys, if you're watching and you have a band and you're excited, the links to get in touch with DJ Tulisan is in the description.
Yeah.
So talagang abangan nyo lang yun.
Mababaw ang kaligayahan ko. So, as long as maganda, well, hindi naman kailangan na well-produced ang kanta ninyo. It just has to be something that's not gonna be difficult to listen to. Yun lang naman eh. That's my only criteria. Something that's not difficult to listen to.
There you go. Alam nyo na. So next season, we promise, may pulutan ng kasama yung mga drinks mo. I'm glad you had fun. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Tulisan, Tolitz Rosel of New Day in August, Pinoy Rock USA, support. And thank you very much for watching
Well, before that.
live at Pacos Place.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
Can I go ahead? Well, I would like to thank PinoyRockUSA.com. Would like to thank Pacos Place with the indefatigable Mr. Paco Arespacochaga.
Thank you.
The mild-mannered Mr. JJ Buencamino.
Whoa.
The gentle giant Mike Abad.
Yes.
Right there. And make sure that you watch Pacos Place, especially the second season. Pacos Place, where the nail hammers you.
Yes. Thanks, Tolitz.